Oh, should have just had the mic running. Okay, let me do So this is can you introduce yourself and just talk it like what you think is your normal tone in the space you'll be sitting?
Well, I sit like this.
Yeah, get comfortable.
And I talk like this. What do you think?
As you covered your mouth.
I didn't need to talk like that. I talk like this. How's that? Does that look good on the levels? That's a little low.
No, it looks fine actually. It looks way better than the last one. Just give me a 1, 2, 3.
One testing, 1, 2, 3. My name is Toban.
La 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 la.
I live in La Land. La La Land.
Do you guys say that?
People do say that here.
Do you say it?
I don't say it, but I do love that movie. Unabashedly, I don't care. Judge me if you want. I love that movie.
I'm not judging you. I'm just curious about the verbosity of.
But there's been like a full backlash against that movie.
Of course.
I mean, but I still love it. I don't care.
Ryan Gosling forever. All right.
That too.
All right, let's check the level.
Or at least have persona of openness.
Do you feel people need to be open?
I do feel people need to have a persona of openness.
Do you think this is about like coming out? Is this part of like the? Because for me that is. That's how I feel the same way. I'm surprised when people are closeted on any topic because I'm like, you know how hard I fought to just say the most bullshit ever?
I mean, definitely it has something to do with that. I mean, I came out in the school paper at Wichita State and then mailed it to my mother. And then, of course, she had a head explosion. So, I believe in, putting it out there and being who you are and not apologizing for it. And
Yeah.
Of course. But I think also, just from being an artist in this century, you have to, you have an online presence. You have a persona that you project, whether you want to or not. And I personally usually will project a slightly heightened persona so that people don't actually know who exactly I am, which I just said out loud. So anyway,
no, but I agree. That's exactly what I was probing with. Not to get deep into, we're gonna officially start the program soon. But yeah, that's what I was like. There's a little bit of. I know a lot of people who are. It's a generational thing too. Now I see a lot of people who are really into like disguises or like not being themselves, or some level.
Yeah.
This idea, but then it's also like, and for a lack of a better term here, I see the branding of that too, and so I'm always skeptical when I meet. I am skeptical about the idea when people are sort of using that idea of anonymity, but then are also like blatantly on social media, and like almost bigger whores than. And I mean, when I say whore, I mean that is not a negative term.
No, but I mean like whore in every sense of the word. Like there's an artist that lives here who I won't mention his name, but he is like wants to be very serious about his artwork, but also is like. A super muscle bear, and every photo on Instagram is him shirtless, and those there'll be the shirtless photos that's super sexy, and that'll get like 1,000 likes, and then he'll make like a piece of artwork or something, or he'll make some statement about something deeper that's actually interesting, it'll get like 20 likes, and it's like
welcome to the club. That's what happens.
I mean but that's what I mean by this sort of persona that you have to put out there. You have to put together some kind of online presence, whether that is your true self or not. Is up to you, but you have to have something that puts you out there.
Yeah, but I get accused all the time of like Peter, stick with one topic, or like, and I'm like, no, I'm living my fucking life, dude.
I mean, are there rules? There are no rules.
Yeah, and also I'm like, usually, as I'm grabbing my whiskey, it's usually coming from people who I'm like, I don't know if I want to take advice from you, but
well, I mean,
that's my cattiness. Okay,
Phil, that's stupid.
All right, let's actually start the program. Okay. That was the prequel.
I liked that prequel, though. I thought that was pretty good.
That was like Liam Neeson with a lightsaber dancing around a little child with, I don't know. I can't even do Star Wars references anymore.
It made sense.
You're a Star Trek guy.
I'm Star Trek and Star Wars guy.
Oh, okay.
Mostly Star Trek. I mean, God.
You have to lean one way or the other.
I mean, I make a lot of Star Trek costumes. I have not yet made any Star Wars costumes.
Do you go to the cons and stuff?
I go to the main con in Vegas with 3 of my friends, and we have a fucking great time. And it's very gay, too, there. It's super gay.
I think I know several mutual... I'm sure I've met half your crowd, but...
Probably.
I have to admit, I'm not... I'm an omnivore when it comes to that. Generally speaking, I like all of it. Generally, but I'm really against Star Wars lately. So it's like it's a childhood backlash. But let's get into that during the show.
The Disneyfication of it, right?
No. It's actually with adult eyes. The more I look back on it, I love the original trilogy. But that's just because it was sort of like ingrained into me, and it was also more, for lack of a better word, spiritual.
Yeah.
They really lost it with the blah blah blah, the prequels. Although apparently
there's hideous.
Apparently, I need to rewatch them because I'm reading essays about it.
Well, I think you're reading essays from millennials,
possibly,
who grew up with those shows. They love them.
Don't forget Camille Paglia was the first one to say the Return of the Sith or something was like the greatest film that was ever made.
She said that?
Yes.
Why? She's high.
Because she knew exactly what would push everyone's...
I mean, yeah, that would make anyone my age would piss off so much. Shut up, Camille.
She doesn't know anything about the cave and Empire Strikes Back.
She loves being provocative, whatever. That's her whole thing.
Baby Yoda, whatever.
Baby Yoda is amazing, by the way.
It's true.
I love it.
I'm hoping for more from that show, but... Alright, let's start the show. So, first of all, this is a huge intro. I like to sing the song, the intro with the guest.
Okay. Do I know the song?
Probably not. But do you like to sing?
Yeah, I love to sing.
Oh, perfect. Alright. So, maybe I'll sing it once, and then you can sing it on your own. We can sing it together. We can do
Is it hard? Is it Toxic by Britney Spears? Because I know that really well.
Wow. No, but I have a cover for you. We'll talk about that later.
Awesome.
I'm not a huge Britney fan. All right, it's you can school me or whatever. School? People don't even say that anymore.
I don't love her that much either, but I love that song.
Yeah, well,
it's written by Kathy Dennis, who I do love. I stand for Kathy.
Oh, so they wrote the song.
Kathy wrote it.
Okay.
And there's
Who wrote Like a Prayer? Madonna didn't write that, did she?
Stephen Bray wrote that.
Wow, this is gonna be a fun episode. I can't wait. Yeah. Madam X, she needs to stop. But,
okay. I mean...
Oh, you're a defender.
No.
I can't wait. No.
I'm with you. But I know several people that might listen to this that would be angry.
Don't take one for me. I can handle it.
You can handle it.
I can totally handle it.
You've been beaten up by 5 thugs in Athens.
I'm ready to take on Rufus Wainwright at this point right now, and I love that bird. I love her. Okay. So the theme song goes like this. Time Waster Radio. Radio for those who refuse to listen.
Do I have to sing that last part? Or just Time
Say it or sing however
Radio? Time Waster Radio. Radio for those
who refuse to listen.
Got it. Okay.
Do you want to do it together?
Yeah, let's do it together.
Okay. I mean, it's usually...
I can do it by myself. I mean, I'm not scared.
We can also do it like 9 times.
Let's do it 10 times.
Okay, perfect. Well, of course.
Just to make sure it's perfect.
All right. Time Waster Radio. Radio for those who refuse to listen. All right, one more time.
I didn't do it very well. I didn't do that last part. If that last part,
You'll get it. It's
Time Waster Radio is easy. The last part.
Yeah. What's the seriousness? You have to get into a different so there's
radio for people who don't want to listen.
Wait, now you've already confusing my radio for those who refuse to listen.
Radio for those who refuse to listen.
I was on this gender thing a long time ago. It's funny for 2 gay white men to laugh at that. But it's true.
I know, it's true.
We're allowed to laugh.
2 gay white Kansans.
Let's get to that. Okay.
All right. Time Waster Radio.
Radio for those who refuse to listen.
Didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Well, you see the persona, though. You can get it.
I kind of mouthed the words you were saying, so I feel like if there was a camera on here, they would see that I said
this
something.
Isn't the Joe Rogan show, but whatever.
Okay.
But I will be the gay Joe Rogan. I've decided.
Are you gonna shave your head?
No, and I like him actually.
He has his head shaved.
He has his moments.
I think he's kind of hot actually.
Oh, I'd fuck him for sure.
Into him.
But only because he wouldn't want to fuck me. But that's how it goes.
You never know. People are into.
He's Hollywood. You're right.
People are into all kinds of weird shit.
You got my number, Joe. Call me. Let's start. Okay, so I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Highland Park.
You're in Highland Park, beautiful Highland Park.
Yeah,
and the HLP.
Is this considered? It's Los Angeles proper,
It is Los Angeles. Yeah, if you send me a letter, which I encourage everyone to do, You can send it to Los Angeles or you can send it to Highland Park, and it will come to me no matter what.
Okay, but so is Highland Park becoming its own municipality or something? Or no?
It was, and it's not now. It was. It started out as
the
a
city's
separate
absorbing
city. Yes, that's
this
exactly right.
fucking town.
It's LA absorbed cities around it and turns them into neighborhoods. So if you ask someone about Highland Park, they'll say, "Oh, it's a neighborhood," but actually, it used to be a town. As did Eagle Rock, as did El Sereno.
Silver Lake, no.
Silver Lake, no.
There was always a.
But like Glendale is still considers itself. Glendale's very staunch. Like, we are a town. We are not Los Angeles. We are Glendale, and Burbank is the same way. But like these other little places around here, like I have a book about Highland Park and the history of it, and it was It was one of the first settlements, and it was out on its own, and it was far away from Los Angeles, even though we would consider ourselves very close to Olivera Street, which is where Los Angeles sort of began.
Yeah, is there a religious element to why they were settling out here, or no? Because it's America, there usually is.
It was Jews.
Oh, okay. That's still religious, but okay. Interesting. Yeah, would you say so? That's the opposite of San Francisco, where they turn like every 2 blocks has a new neighborhood name.
Yeah.
Fucking horrifying.
I mean, and that's why I guess I was weaned on that sort of idea in Seattle because I lived there before San Francisco, but Seattle and San Francisco are kind of twins in many ways. But yeah, when I was in Seattle, it's like, oh, this is Capitol Hill, and then you walk across the street, and you're like, oh, now you're in Queen Anne, and it's like, huh?
I like to say Vancouver and San Francisco are more twins. Seattle's kind of in its own little.
It's kind of Portland's twin, I guess.
It's yeah. I don't. I'm about to go there actually.
You're going to Seattle
in the winter. I'm gonna go for. I know.
How awful.
It's strange. I have like a really core group of old, interesting friends who completely have nothing to do with each other and have all moved there. And then occasionally people are like, oh yeah, I like your art, you should do something. So I'm like, alright, cool. So I've only really been there in the spring or summer, and I know I'm, but I need to get like galoshes.
You're gonna see. You're gonna see. I mean, I lived there for 2 years, and I was like, I gotta go.
I had one of the most interesting possible sex with a gay couple after.
Possible?
Like, well, we'll get to it. I'll tell you. It's actually pretty funny. It was one of the funniest moments of my life. I was like, what? Okay. Seattle. Oh no, I wanted to get. So you're originally from Kansas.
Yes.
Oh, did we introduce your name? No, I don't know.
No, I mean I said it in the weird intro, but are you going to include that? Because you should, because I liked it.
Oh no,
we
I always do.
Testing. I will say it now.
No, yeah,
I can say my name. I know what it is.
I'll still probably include it, but go for it.
I mean, you can say it. You can say it too if you want to.
I realize I don't ever introduce myself in this own podcast. No one even knows who I am.
Do you want me to introduce you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, my name is Peter Max Lawrence, and I'm sitting here with Toban Nichols.
Oh, I was gonna say your name, but
no, I said both.
It's perfect.
That was hilarious, actually.
Are we already tipsy? Is this what's happening?
I mean, not me. I don't drink.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely had 2 beers before I got here.
That's part of my online persona that I'm putting out there. That we were discussing.
You don't drink?
That's my online persona.
Awesome.
No,
super sober.
I mean, there are lots of photos of me on Facebook with a drink in my hand. Sorry, Mom.
That's when I stopped taking photos with drinks in my hand because my dad was like, can you just, for once? And I was like,
but no.
I'll respect that.
I mean, that's kind of the only time anybody takes my photo is when I am at a party or something, because I'm not selfie queen. I'm not sitting at home taking selfies of myself. I don't do that. I'm not into that.
Well, we might do a photo shoot.
We can do a photo shoot. That's fine. I mean, I'm not into it for myself. Like,
you're not.
I know people that lay on their beds and take selfies.
Like, how are you doing Scruff and Grinder then? I don't understand.
I mean, I just have photos that I use. They're old.
Oh, God. Well, at least you're being honest.
I mean, I still look like that. Didn't you see my 10-year? Didn't you see my 10-year comparison? My dad was like,
was that on Facebook?
Is this? Yeah. I posted Halloween photos from 10 years ago and from this year, and then my dad's like, what is this? I'm like,
is your dad sweet?
Never mind, Dad. He is. I don't think sweet is the right word. He is.
He's interested?
He's interesting. He's sarcastic. He thinks that he is very funny.
Where does he live?
They live in Smith Center, Kansas.
Okay,
Beautiful Smith Center, Kansas.
Is that where you were raised?
I was born there. I wasn't raised there, but I was born there.
Okay.
I was raised in Oberlin, Kansas.
All right, I've heard that. I'm sorry, I'm from Kansas, just in case you don't know. So
we're Kansas friends. We're Kansas gals.
Yeah. We Kansas ladies have to stick together.
We have to. I met another one last week.
Rough prairie out there.
No shit, Sherlock. I met another Kansan last week, and I was just like, you can tell before someone kind of says it.
Sometimes
I feel like you kind of can. And with him, he was from Wichita, And I lived in
It's a
Wichita. I went
different
to yes, I went to undergraduate school in Wichita, so I can tell what
You
those
smell
Wichita
that.
kids are like. And I was like, as soon as they said it's from Kansas, I'm like, yeah, you are.
I can smell Lawrence, Kansas, like Berkeley. I'm just
Well, because they're wearing Birkenstocks.
like, no. Well, that's...
And they haven't showered, and their underarm hair is
Whoa.
great. Correct or right or wrong?
No, that's not right. No, but I know what you're talking
But
about.
I do love how liberal Lawrence is. I love.
Yeah, Lawrence is a liberal bastion for that.
If I moved back there, that's where I probably would go.
I considered it. I really did. I have friends there I can go visit, so I'm like, don't need to be here all the time. But I do like the idea of having a garden and like thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Lawrence would be awesome.
It would be amazing. And close to Kansas City.
But I gotta tell you, trying to get laid there was horrifying.
Really?
It's still bad. It's still bad. Yeah.
Trying to get laid in general can be
I know.
annoying.
But I feel like I'm doing like a really good global pulse of this. But I'm trying, you know?
You're really giving it a good old college try.
Fucking Hollywood. Wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating little jaunt I went on there.
There's a lot of sluts here. Sorry, LA.
No, it's...
I'm going to apologize.
No, they're not. No, they're... Well,
Sorry, Mom. Sorry,
I don't know. They're not sluts until 3 a.m. What they are is they're all into fetish and then boyfriends until they're wasted, and then suddenly they come out and they're all... And it's bizarre. And they're like, well, I'm going to be up in the morning, my protein shake, or I'll be like... There's a lot of protein shake. And
I wish I couldn't relate to any of that, but I can't. I drink a lot more protein shakes than I care to admit.
Oh, it's not... Yeah, well, but I don't think you're trying to live the West Hollywood lifestyle of... Why do I have to say West?
I'm trying to live the Highland Park lifestyle.
Are you?
And I am living it.
Are you vegetarian?
No.
Why are you doing protein shakes? Because you are working out.
Because I work out a lot.
Oh, you're a gym queen.
No. I'm diabetic. I'm diabetic.
Oh.
That's my excuse.
And the protein shakes, oh.
The protein shakes are good for after working out.
Type 1, type 2.
And I do work out a lot. Type 2.
Thank you for being... Okay, my friend's a type 1, so I know they're kind of different.
They're different.
Yeah.
Type 1 you're usually born with or you develop in childhood.
Yeah.
Type 2 is for fatties.
Oh.
JK, love you, diabetic.
I do
diabetics.
I do love diabetic.
I mean, I think it's like, okay, this might be a controversial topic, but this is something that I've discussed with my friends. Yeah. So, like, we're homosexual men. Yeah. And I think you're in your 40s, right? Are you in your 40s?
Do I look like I'm in my 40s?
You look in your 50s, girl.
I'm totally in my 40s.
Me too. And so I think people
42.
You're 42?
I am.
Oh my god. I'm just kidding. I think people of our age who grew up sort of in the 80s and 90s and when the AIDS crisis was around and who are gay, I think that we are allowed to make fun of AIDS. We're allowed to laugh at AIDS.
100%.
And people can get really fucking butthurt about that. And it's kind of stupid. I mean, like, my roommate and I make AIDS jokes all the time and we laugh hysterically. And I've had... Like, we were around this guy that was visiting from Germany, and he was visibly horrified once when we were laughed about an AIDS joke. And it's like, no, dude, it's fine. We, it's totally fine. We're owning it.
We nursed them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we were the twinks wanting to nurse them.
Well, yeah.
No, it is.
We nursed them. And then they died.
Yeah, but it's a rough one. Yeah, people get really upset.
It's the same thing, but they do get upset. But it's the same thing with diabetes. It's
what about faggot, though?
I have diabetes, and so I will make fun of it all I want.
Yeah, anyway, of course. You're a talent. It's like,
so
I'd say faggot a lot now.
I love the word faggot.
But the thing is, people get very... I'm trying to remember where I noticed... I mean, the Bay Area is its own fucking little nightmare. Yeah. But,
I love
which also goes with AIDS jokes, too.
Yeah.
Do you know Philip Wong's work?
No.
I want to...
Philip Long?
Wong. Performance artist in San Francisco, who, no longer performs. He has a band called AIDS, and people fucking talk about cancel culture or whatever these kids talk about. Very upset and like, I work for homeless people who are on AIDS. You can't make those jokes. It's like, actually, first of all, you don't know if I have AIDS.
Yeah, you don't know.
And if I had AIDS and I wanted it, that's my business too.
Yeah, like, and fucking cancel culture. Give me a break.
Yeah,
it's just so out of
hesitated even saying that phrase because I'm already bored. There's things that come along the pipeline where I'm like, ugh. I'm about to deal with 10 years of Meghan McCain saying cancel culture. Great.
Yeah, you said a mouthful.
I'm working on it. This is my new performance. It's just like...
I like it. I think it's...
regurgitation of the... yeah. So, you can say all the diabetic jokes you fucking want.
I'm going to. Tonight.
Yeah. Are you on insulin? What's your...
I take insulin sometimes at night. I don't have to take it every night.
Yeah.
I check
if
my
you drink,
blood.
I bet if you drink, it's...
Actually...
well, that can lower it.
Well, not for everybody. It's actually a weird thing. Like, for some people, drinking certain things raises their blood sugar. For some people, it lowers it. I'm one of the ones that it lowers. So, like, you know, I mostly, when I drink now, I just drink wine or beer.
So you might have to slam a juice here.
No, I'll be fine. I don't drink juice, but, like, I would, you know, I'll just eat something before I go to bed.
Yeah.
But, like, it's like that. So,
Piece
you know.
of grapefruit, something sweet, some little powdered sugar on it.
Just a pound of sugar.
When my friend is like type 1, like I've seen some shit, so I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It can
like
get weird.
No, I have a heart condition, so I've never been into like most of the drugs. I've dibble dabbled in my midlife crisis.
Yeah.
But I've seen someone like constantly put needles in their body like from the moment I met them, and I mean, I already had a needle phobia, but then like that's when type 1 I was like shit.
Yeah.
That is a lot of poking your body all day long. It's
it's
bruising and...
If you could see the tips of my fingers, if you look really closely, you can see little dots along all of them because I stab my finger 3 times a day. So you get these little dark spots because even though it's a little tiny mark, it still just has to heal. So like,
how's it affecting your work though too? Because also we should say you're an artist.
Oh yeah, that's why we're doing this kind of, right?
I talk to everyone. But yeah,
talk to non-artists. That's gross.
I completely disagree. But yes, I know. I knew you were with you.
That was another provocative statement. Sorry, Mom.
It wasn't a provocative. You knew what you were. It was a joke. People, humor. Humor.
Don't cancel me.
No, I'm trying to get non-artists on, but you know what? It's hard. People don't have the ego to come on and be like, "Oh yeah, I like work the electric line and I'm an alcoholic." Like.
You know what I'm saying? Talk about their alcoholism. Yeah.
They're not ready for the documentary yet.
They're not.
They don't watch.
They aren't ready.
They don't watch the documentary and go, "Yeah, I'm Picasso." Instead, they're like, "Shit, I'm just a loser." And you're like, "No."
You're like, "No, that's what we like about you.
You like to make log cabins. Let's talk about it."
And drink a fifth of vodka.
Vodka's good, right? For you?
No, I don't drink vodka. I don't really drink any hard liquors.
But it could be good for you, like beer blood sugar wise.
I have found that vodka actually is not.
It's good for my friend on type 1.
It's weird. So well, see, that's the thing. It's like it's a really weird thing that they don't have a handle on at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But like wine and beer, I'm good with, especially wine. Like wine keeps me low and good. And but I mean, because I work out so much, I am often in the normal range or low anyway.
Yeah.
So I have to eat a lot. I eat a lot.
Did you work out today?
I did work out this morning. Is this Saturday?
Yes.
Yes, I worked out this morning.
Before you went to the museums.
Yes. I go in the morning.
I gotta get it. Did you say like I've got to get my workout in before we go?
I gotta get my steps. No, I
and then Peter Max wants us coming over to do a fucking podcast, and we're gonna get wasted. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be a day. No. You're basically having like a rave day right now.
I've had quite a day.
Yeah.
After the gym, I came home and ate. I washed my dog. After I yelled at him for digging a hole in the yard, I washed my dog. Your dog is
adorable, by the way.
He's the cutest.
What's his name again?
He's a little brat. His name is Buttface. No, his name is Stony.
I want to call him Soldier. I don't know why.
Soldier? He won't answer that.
No, but he he's like
he's
very
really
stoic.
sweet. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. He's super, super needy and loving, which is just how I like my dogs.
And he's like, how many of these gay men have to come over and talk?
He loves it. But he loves ladies more. He really loves to get in there with ladies. He's like into ladies.
Okay.
He's not gay.
I mean, hence the oh my god, I'm such a bad gay.
The bandana.
Yeah, bandana.
That bandana is for flea control.
Oh yeah.
He has a shirt that's also for flea control that I had to wash today. So anyway, I digress.
I'm gonna take a picture of that dog though.
He's a great dog. He's very photogenic. I went to the gym. I came home. I ate lunch. I washed him.
Yeah.
Which he hates.
How do you wash him?
I wash him in the bathtub with flea shampoo. The entire time he looks like you're cutting his head off.
He's very upset.
He hates it. He hates it so much.
He's like, Daddy, don't do this to me.
He's like, why are you killing me? Why? Like, cause.
But
do you want to wake him up?
Oh my god! I'm just realizing how. No, I love him sleeping, but I'm just realizing. And don't take offense to this.
If you talk about that wreath, I will laugh so hard.
No. Oh no, it wasn't specifics.
My sister made that.
No, I wasn't gonna. No. Oh my god,
no, in a good way. Like it's fucking crazy and obnoxious.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's the first Christmas thing I put out.
I need to meet your sister.
She lives near Lucas.
I was going to
very close.
Well, I was going to say on my own podcast before you cut me off.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I'm real cutter.
I was gonna say that living room looks like the most Camden thing I've seen in LA.
I mean, you got a point. That my mother made that quilt on the wall. She and I collaborated on that quilt. And then that chair is from my great-grandfather's kitchen. It's over 100 years old. It's been in my family that long.
And those are just the accoutrements,
Yeah.
and like your vintage, whatever's going on there.
This fan.
It's
a fan.
The fan? You're talking
Is it?
about the fan. I'm talking about this furniture piece.
The buffet.
The buffet.
The white buffet.
Such a bad game.
That's from CB2. That's totally not vintage.
Well, have you been to Lucas, Kansas, and people's houses? Because this is amazing.
This is what you see. I do have like a weird
I'll share the
modern
picture
/ country vibe going on here, especially with that insane wreath that my sister made.
As you should.
It is fucking insane, but that's what I like about it. It's fucking crazy.
No, I was more with the tablecloth, and these chairs are pretty. That's like
Those are mid-century modern.
Yeah, well, but
Yeah.
have you been to Kansas lately? Like that's what they have.
Well, I mean, I've been to my mother's house, which is opulent AF.
Wow, I gotta. All right, let's get to that. Hold
Country
on.
AF.
Now I'm crossing my legs on a
Cross
couch.
it up.
Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's go to. Hold on. I'm gonna meditate for a second. Let's go to Kansas. So Oberlin. Your parents are in Oberlin?
My parents are in Smith Center. I went to grade school and high school in Oberlin because we moved out there temporarily. But I was born in Smith Center, and they moved back there after we went to college.
Okay, remind me again. Smith Center, which first of all, unfortunate name.
Well, I'll tell you why it's called that. I can't believe you don't know. I can't believe you don't know. As a native Kansan, I can't believe it.
Please, I didn't know a whole. I'm from fucking Kansas. I'm basically from Missouri. Whenever I was out there, they were like,
don't say you're from Kansas City, Kansas.
I'm a Catholic and I'm from Eastern Kansas. They were like, die. Literally, they would say shit at me like that.
They're like Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
Good one.
Yeah. No.
I did ask her to leave my brain. I'm not joking. About 22 years ago, I said, Mariah, it's time to go.
Mariah, I love you, but you can't stay.
I can't.
And then you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
She won't take those papers. Like, she keeps coming back.
You know what? She's only in my brain around Christmas because she sings that fucking really good song. I hate every other song she's ever written, but
tradition.
That one Christmas song is
I like
so
Butterfly,
good.
and I like Sweet
fantasy baby.
See, yeah,
that is a pretty good one, but
way better than all the
But
British
my official
shit.
stance is that I hate her. My official online
as a
stance
gay, you
is-
have to.
I like Madonna. I like Kylie Minogue.
Whoa!
I like Roisin Murphy.
Wow!
Don't get me started.
I'm a Martha Wainwright girl, but that's.
I love Martha Wainwright. I mean, I'll take a Kylie Minogue or better yet, a Danny Minogue over a Madonna or definitely a Mariah Carey any day.
Well, now we're listing.
We are really getting. If we're going to talk about Danny Minogue, we're really getting deep.
I have no idea who Danny Minogue is.
Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about. Certain people listening out there know who I'm talking about.
No idea who Danny Minogue is.
Look up Danny Minogue. It's two
Is this a man?
eyes. No, it's Kylie Minogue's sister.
Like Solange? I don't understand.
She is Solange before Solange was even born.
Well, okay.
Girl. We were here, now we're here.
I do know. Do I really need to know who Danny? Do I?
Oh my god, she's amazing. She's amazing. She's like, she's everything Kylie's not. She's like everything.
I'm
B-list,
sorry, Kylie.
Everything B-list. Everything like if. You know, like in a sci-fi movie where they take a person and like they take all the good things and put them into one person. They take all the bad things and make another person, like in a sci-fi film. Mm-hmm. That's like Kylie and Danny Minogue. But Danny Minogue's amazing.
But you'll take them both though. But they can't exist without each other.
I mean, they can't. Haven't you heard the single 100 Degrees, which is sung by both of them?
This is like the Wayne. No, I haven't heard any of that.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but have you listened to the entire catalog of the Wainwrights and the family drama? Exactly.
I'm way behind on all Loudon and Martha and of course Rufus.
We all have our own, so that should be a Broadway show that will It's all there. They wrote all the material.
Yeah.
It's simple, but they have musical. Their rights between the companies.
They need a gay to zhuzh it up and put it all together.
Rufus probably needs a better gay. That's true.
Rufus is not a great gay.
Oh, it's not.
Oh my god, are those fighting words?
No, it's fine. No, I'm not gonna fight over fucking Rufus Wainwright. He can defend himself.
He can. That's true. He has a Twitter. Come at me, Rufus.
Which I do never follow. I'd follow Trump on Twitter before I'd follow Rufus. Actually, I just signed up for Rufus's he has this thing now where he's texting, and you missed this. It doesn't see you. I missed your Facebook post, and you missed my fucking Instagram post. But I posted he was harassing me with on my phone because he was there was a whole thing this is a better way to communicate through your phone, and I was like, okay, cool. If he's sending random stuff or it's regional and area code, I can handle it. And then it just turned into this fucking. It was drunk fucking. Not he's not drunk. He's sober, I think. Oh. But I mean you get these random texts and it's thank you so much for looking at my new single, and I was no. So I went through 3 of them, and then I texted back. I'm like,
I didn't do this. I don't want this.
It's Rufus, I love you to death, but you need to fucking lose my fucking number. And then he didn't get the message apparently
because he kept texting you.
Yeah, then I wrote hashtags unsubscribe, and they were you're immediately unsubscribed, and I was okay.
You're Rufus, you're not listening to me.
Yeah. I would take, if Martha Wainwright sent, 3 messages a year, I would...
You'd be down for a text.
Yeah, he needs... Whoever talked him into that promotion campaign was a bad idea. People want to be more connected. I wrote him a letter. The first text, I literally responded back, and I was like, hey, Rufus. Like a teenager would, you know?
Yeah. Did he reply to you?
No, of course not. No, I think it had an auto reply, which was thank you so much for reaching out. And I'm
an auto reply in Rufus's voice, thanks.
Yeah, well,
you're cool, dude.
Whatever. If you're not doing the classics, I don't want to hear it. Bye.
Well, that's true too. April Fools is one of his very best songs.
The first album alone is just one giant amazing.
Amazing, yes. Yeah. Gorgeous.
I would argue that I've actually been revisiting Poses because I'm in California, and that's where he recorded it.
Yeah.
And then I really, really love 1 and 1 2, which a lot of people. That's when he started. People were dipping out, but that's when I got deep in.
Wait, what was that album called?
That was the double album.
Oh yeah, I think that's when I dipped out a little bit.
Yeah, I already knew that.
You're I heard that about you.
I can see that, but you missed out. There were some amazing songs on that. And then Release the Stars was amazing.
I think about that time I switched over to Devinder Van Hart.
Yeah, and you know what? Never got into that Queen.
I mean,
Bro or whatever.
Bro Queen.
Or Natalie Portman's boyfriend, whatever he is.
And who's the other one I love so much that I really got into?
I'm sorry. I did see a documentary about Devendra Bernhardt, and his apartment looked exactly like this house. He probably lives right next door, right?
He's my neighbor. No, I hate almost all my neighbors, so he can't live next to me.
Oh,
I don't hate them. That's a strong word, but I don't like them much.
Okay. Should we go into it? Are there other fags? Is it 2 fags?
There are gays up in the corner. No, it's too
Oh, don't do it.
I can't talk about it.
Yeah, I can see it on your face.
It's too Highland Parky. I can't talk about it.
Oh yeah.
It's such a microcosm here.
I don't want to dip into that.
No one would even understand it.
Let's get to Kansas then. All right. So Smith Center.
Smith Center is the geographical center of the United States before Alaska and Hawaii were added to the Union.
That part I did know.
Thus the name Smith Center.
I knew it, but I didn't. I remember it only when people tell me. It's not like something that sticks with you.
Do you also know though that the actual monument to the geographical center of the United States is not physically in Smith Center. Part,
it's somewhere else.
It's in Lebanon.
That's right.
Lebanon, which anyone outside of Kansas would call Lebanon. There's a country called that. There's there's a Human League song called that.
I called it Lebanon when I was there, and everyone was like, "It's
Lebanon."
Yeah.
Lebanon.
Shit.
Anyway, yes, there's a little chapel there that you can go in. There's a bunch of dead flies in the windows. My friend Ramon took a picture of it.
Do they have a monument there in Lebanon?
There's a monument in Lebanon for the geographical center of the United States.
And it's how big is it?
It's the monument is it's maybe 20 feet tall and maybe 10 feet around. It's not very big.
Oh no, that's big for central Kansas.
Well, yes, but then they also have a little.
So it looks like a penis. Is it like a?
It's like a cross or something. There is no penis.
Crosses are penises. I don't know.
There are penises with some kind of bar through them.
It's actually a conceptual art piece of a penis is a cross. But go on.
go on with your bad self. But there's also that chapel there, which is totally obnoxious, and it's super tiny, and like I said, the dead flies are weird. And
that's Lebanon.
That's in Lebanon.
Okay, so what's the population difference between Lebanon and Smith Center?
I would say Lebanon is probably like in the lower hundreds, and if that, and Smith Center is probably about 1,200.
Oh, that is a big.
It's a burgeoning metropolis.
I've had experience with that.
There's the highway going right through it.
I mean, actually, I started fantasizing at one point about those teeny tiny towns, like the smaller, because
smaller than Lucas.
Dude, when you live in a town of 400, and by the way, that was really like 346. I counted because I had time.
You were like, line up on Main Street. I'm gonna count you.
You know what? When people are after you, you start to do things like that.
Learning their names.
Learn their names, and like I had like autocorrect, like auto dial, like emergency contacts going out to.
Yeah, you had a rough time in Lucas. Would you? Is that a characterization that's true?
I wouldn't. I mean, it's a hard one for me. I don't. It wasn't easy. It wasn't horrible. I think there was a lot of miscommunication, and I'm also a loud fag, and I totally underestimated that part. Like
people are like, "Shut up, fag!" Like what? No.
Yeah, I think moving from San Francisco, not giving that credit, by the way, but because San Francisco has its homophobic, hilarious moments that people don't talk about.
I mean, it does, but in San Francisco, you can walk down the street screaming you're a fag and nobody cares.
Generally speaking.
I mean, you can speak as loud as you want.
Yeah, I've been harassed. Actually, one of the most terrifying days ever in my life. And it wasn't. The thing is, the difference is when it's a group event or you have people around you. It's similar to like anywhere. Like you can be much safer in a group. I did walk from the Panhandle in a dress, barefoot, by the way. I don't know if I was on hallucinogens, but it sounds right.
I mean, without shoes, probably.
No.
I wouldn't walk without shoes in San Francisco.
Well, I had heels, but they're fucking, those hills, that hill was a fucking, to get down Hayes Valley or, through Western Addition.
Yeah, that's a trek.
I'm sorry I said Hayes Valley, because I was going through the Western Addition.
You went from like lower hate, into Hayes Valley.
Zigzagging into.
Oh, you were. So you were like.
When I was wearing that dress, I went straight to City Hall.
Oh, so it's kind of, you could go straight down into Hayes Valley, and you'd be at City Hall. Yeah.
It was before, yeah, but I know what you're saying. I don't want to get, that's too much it's painful. But yeah, it was one of the worst days ever, honestly. Like, I was wearing a dress, and I was going to a performance, and I had been living there for so long, and I was like, it won't be that big of a deal. It did turn into a big deal. I got harassed by several people, but one person in particular was, like, physically coming after me, and
what?
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. Like, this one, the whole point is, like, there's a difference between walking alone and walking together. All of our experiences, like, but, like, it was a cherry dress. It was a beautiful summer day. I felt super pretty. And I wasn't even trying to I wasn't making a statement. I was on the way to this piece. I knew the venue was going to be hot. I didn't want to carry a bag. And I was just like, I'll just wear the dress and, like, go do me. So, like, some bearded, scraggly dude in a cherry dress. Yeah, it turned into a whole fucking thing. But whatever. That's the least interesting story in my life. That's the part that's so fun. I'm like, that's nothing. I'm like, whatever. But those shit, that shit does happen. So, like, I do, like, get a Bay Area sensitivity when, like, some people are like, oh, it's such a safe space. It isn't that safe of a space. Like, it is when you're, like, in a car or you're, like, this is why queer homomobiles started and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny. I think that moment that happened to me was right around the time that homomobiles had just started. And, like, I didn't know about it. Because I'm, like, an elitist fag, so I wasn't paying attention. But, like,
you weren't reading.
I wasn't.
Local rags.
And I wasn't going to the stud, like, every 30 seconds or whatever, so.
Well, you should have been.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, I get that. I totally get that. I think,
Sorry.
I also think that... Yeah,
sorry,
San Francisco.
No, just sorry. Sorry, I stepped on your foot, sorry. It's fucking annoying.
Sorry. People do that here, too. Like, oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I think my experience in San Francisco, and I think my experience walking through this world has been like, I'm a tall, broad, bigger sort of like
Butch Bear.
I mean, how dare you? But yes,
Pseudo Butch Bear.
How dare you? How very dare you?
What? Call you bear?
Yes. No, it's fine. I was just kidding. But I think that
What would you like? I'm sorry. What's your preferred animal name?
Silverback gorilla? No, I'm just kidding.
I can see that.
That was my.
I can see that. I can see that.
My ex-husband wanted to be a silver. He thought that was his favorite animal. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, I think that everyone's experience obviously is quite different, but I think I walk through the world like with this sort of like larger body frame, and I never have had those sorts of issues, which I think is, and so I think that presents itself as a false sense of safety.
Of course, I mean, I'm a tall, skinny, gay, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, vivacious queen. And I can switch. So, like, yeah. I'm like Courtney Love in a second.
Yeah.
I can be Kurt Cobain. I can, like, be Yoda. I can do,
I can be Yoda. I just think that speaks to my own naivete. I think that's what I was getting at. I'm like, oh, no, everything's great. No, if people leave people alone. It's like, well, that's not actually the case for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a, I mean, whatever, white male privilege, which is true.
It's a real thing. That's real.
Yeah, it's
that's so real.
Yeah, I think it's like
for those of you out there that think that's not real, it is.
The debate's not out. It's fine. It's fun.
I mean, can I say something on that topic?
Please,
for a second. I mean, my father, who will hopefully never listen to this, I have witnessed.
I have 3 listeners. Don't worry.
But I'm gonna when this
Miranda July.
I'm gonna spread this. Oh, Miranda July's enough. She's enough. Hi, Miranda.
She'll appreciate your father.
Big fan. If you know people at a risk, send her my way. Anyway, my father is this, he's very imposing. He's very, in Smith Center, Kansas.
Same size as you.
He's the same. We look similar.
Okay.
He lives in a small town. He is a bigwig there. He is someone who has lived there his whole life. He has a lot of pull. He has a lot of swing. He's, someone who's got a lot of money. They've got a lot of things. They've got a lot of land. So, he is able to shove his weight around. And people take notice, and people listen, and that's something that I really took notice of a few years ago when he was in a car accident. Is that he was in a very bad car accident, was almost died because he and a tractor that was mowing the side of the road collided at like 7 a.m, and it destroyed his truck. Anyway,
that is some Kansas shit.
It's some real Kansas.
I've been in that
People
moment.
don't even understand that. Like, what do you mean it was mowing the side of the road? You're like, no, that's what happens. Tractors. Anyway,
he dipped in, they dipped out. It all got.
And it was like Anyway, so
these 1-lane highways are fucking insane.
To see what happened because of that circumstance was really eye opening at that time, because he was in the hospital. He was like, he broke his sternum. He could not move. He was in a hospital bed, and he was like on the phone with the insurance company saying, I'm going to walk out of this hospital in 5 days, and I'm going to go to the dealership and get another truck, and you're going to pay for it. And that was the law. And you don't talk to insurance companies like that, obviously. I mean, any of us that have had accidents, you bicker with the insurance company endlessly, and there's never. But, in where he lives, he can throw that weight around because it's his white male privilege. And people listen to that. People totally go, that's exactly what he did. He said he was going to do that, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
He went to the dealership, picked up another truck, and drove away. And the insurance company sent them a check. He said that's what he wanted to do, and that's what happened because of him putting himself out there as this person that's in charge. It happens to be that he's white and male, but also
they knew he'd show up with a gun too. But go on.
I mean, but
I'm half kidding.
Totally. But I mean, that's what
he meant. What he fucking said.
That's who he is. He does that all the time, and people listen. People do what he says most of the time because I think people generally want to just have somebody sort of take control. Have somebody just be like, here's what I need, here's what needs to happen, and people are like, okay, great, somebody else is leading, great, I don't want to do it.
Are you making a Trump comparison?
No. But I mean, I think
it's, no, not to your father, not to your father, but to the sense of that is actually, I think that's actually true. When people are surprised, like, oh, I don't understand why people did that, and I'm like, because you can actually talk to Trump voters, and I don't go down this fucking road.
I don't recommend it, but go ahead.
Well, I can't completely, but if you do it's not surprising. He's probably going to win again too, but it's also this weird thing. I'm sorry, I hate to bust the bubble, but I do see a sense of people not wanting it, but the thing is, at that time, they were like, oh, well, and I don't even need to do the voice, and that's just the Kansas thing.
I do like the voice, though.
But, like, they're just like, well, whatever. I mean, it's all fucked up, so I guess we'll let the, shitstorm take over for a while.
Let him try, see if he can fix it.
I mean, Jesus works in mysterious ways. He might be, So, that shit bothers me. That's the part that kills me. I'm like, you drilled that fucking Christian shit into me. And I'm not shit. I'm very respectful. I love the Christians. I'm not actually. I don't care. But I'm a hardcore atheist. But I did abide by those, ethical norms on many ways, and, they fucked me up, actually.
Yeah, me too.
And I know they fucked some of the people, whatever. But I watched that and I dealt with it, and it's so fascinating where it's like, I do see where I'm not as surprised as other people are, why the foul-mouthed, pretend Christian is in charge. Because they kind of wanted that the entire time, and we watched that our whole lives, I think, for our age group.
You're right. I mean, there are people that are Christians and sort of, they go to church and they read the Bible and they talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, they're really in it for themselves, and there's certainly that element.
They're not getting up on a Sunday morning to go help some nonprofit art space, are they?
Nope, they are not. They are definitely not, and they would prefer any homeless people not hang out by their house.
Exactly. It's amazing.
I mean, we're both from the same
we're all hip,
place,
but
so
we're also
we both get it. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is that
Kansans are sweet.
Kansans are actually very forthright and very, very kind and very sweet.
Salt of the earth, as I say.
Salt of the earth, very much tell you how it is, which I actually appreciate. But the point I was trying to make...
Yeah, there's an East Coast thing sometimes. I try to tell people in California. I'm like, everyone's like, you're super brash. And I'm like, no, I'm just Kansan.
That's the way people are in Kansas. People here... I mean, I love how polite, especially in LA. People are so nice in LA. They're so polite. They're so kind. Everyone is very friendly. People genuinely, want to sort of, know about you and want to be creative. And I love that about LA. But that sort of brashness that comes from a life lived in Kansas is sometimes, not accepted. But what I was trying to say, about my dad is that when he was being, this way with the insurance company and being very and it's not just insurance. I've seen him be that way with people on the street. I've seen him be that way with nurses that are supposed to be taking care of him. I've seen him just sort of be like, this is what I want you to do, and go do that, and then they go do it. And what I learned was that as a sort of, as someone who can pass as a white straight male if I want to, if I wish to.
I heard the Kansas draw.
I want to.
Yeah, you heard it. I heard it.
I learned that I can actually use that a little bit myself. Use that confidence that he has and that sort of way of just being very direct, because people, I think, do respond to that in a good way. If you don't abuse it, if you don't use it against them.
And that's not about being... See, and I would argue that's not about being, white and male. That's the problem, too. It's I know women, some of the most amazing people in my life are, just very upfront and very clear. And it's not a gendered thing. That's actually societal. As we talk, we make these comments about California, the I'm sorry. These are it's a very complicated mixture that we're creating when we, I think most people want to get along. Most people want to try to
go along to get along.
Go along, exactly, and engage. But the thing is, it's also, I don't know, the society, we've become a little something weird, and so there's this weird moment, or strange moment for me, realizing that people identify with, again, not to go to that figurehead, but you can see it. I too have seen it as well. There were some farmers, I would have given them a head for nothing.
For nothing.
Well, I'm a hustler, baby. I'm a hustler.
I'm a hustler, baby.
I am. But I was you could see their presence. I was like, all right, girl, I see what you're dealing with, and I like it. It's fun. But also, the same thing is, a lot of the women, actually, when I love Kansas, when I talk about loving Kansas, it's the women. I love, those bitches do not take shit. Do not. Nope. And the funny thing is, people assume that until you go there, there are some weird codes of things that are going on, but, I mean, I would bet on a Kansas woman in any fight ever. Yeah. They will they've got it. there's something in their pocket. They know. They
Yeah,
got it.
no, you're. I mean, I think that comes from that sort of like, you know, not hardship life, but like it's not, you know, the weather there is rough. Like the winters are harsh, the springs are harsh, the summer's very hot. Like you have, even if you are someone that has all sorts of privilege or whatever, it's tough living in Kansas, and you are in the middle of nowhere much of the time unless you're in one of the cities, and so I think that it's bred that way.
Let's call it another place on earth, but yeah. Yeah,
you know, I think that's why the women are that way. Like people are tough.
Well, I would say like I don't know. I mean, I would say the people are tough. The women are tough. I personally, faggotry. Obviously, as a faggot, I'm definitely stealing from the strong ladies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's why that's what I feel like. That's who I am. It's like, oh, it's those ladies. Like when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm totally like, I'm gonna make a roast chicken for you on Sunday. You better shut the fuck up. And if you fucking want tofu, great. But you better have ordered it by Thursday.
Yeah, like, let me know.
Thursday for Sunday, be fucking clear. Yeah, I don't know.
Be fucking clear. I love that. And by the way, you never found tofu in Lucas. I will never believe that.
No, I did not. But, and even by the time I got there, I got bored anyway. I started eating a lot of meat. It didn't matter.
I mean, you can't help it. It's like the meat country.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is that, barring, like, the seasons, you couldn't... I felt really horrible that, like, the land was ungrowable on certain... Because it's being, like... Oh, sure, but
winter,
but people don't... Even people that live there don't understand that. They start to take it... I mean, seriously, they start to believe that they just live in this, like, rigid soil. I was like, no, it's the way that the soil's been treated and...
Yeah.
All that stuff. And, like, I'm not going to come in and, like... First of all, I'm a faggot from fucking San Francisco, so I'm like, hey guys, like, okay, so here's how we grow kale. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, I think they need a smart farmer.
People are coming in there
to know what to do. I mean, you know, that's the way it works. You have to work the land in a way that gives it a break. So
it's happening.
It can heal itself.
I think it's happening. The thing is, it's also it's like misinformation. I mean, you want to talk about hating the government shit. I understand but when you're in Kansas, I do get it a bit, because a lot of that agriculture stuff, they were force-fed these products and places and spaces and machines. We could go for hours about, like, the tractors and stuff. Like, right now, they're having this whole... I don't know how much you pay attention, probably not super close, but I do occasionally, like, I dip in. They're, like, a lot of the factory tractors, I think over, like, the last 10 years, they've computerized them like they did cars.
Yep.
But they're making it so that people can't fix them on their own. And they have to.
Yeah.
And so this is fucking over. Not only is the crop situation horrible, these people are stuck with these machines. Like, when they first buy them, they're like, oh...
It's amazing.
Yeah, we've been to that Bartle Hall show where it's like...
I mean, my family owns one of those machines, and I've ridden on with my nephew who it drives itself. It does everything on its own. He literally sits with his feet up and has an iPad and is, like, playing or watching a movie and
recording his rap album while he's getting it done. Awesome, good for him.
But I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, once it breaks, he said that too. Like, once it breaks down, though, they can no longer fix it themselves. Those parts they can't fix, and they can't open it up because they have to have someone come out and do it.
Jason from Seattle has to come in and like be like, yeah, it's
which is ridiculous.
And I didn't mean to say that you didn't. Yeah, I didn't know any of that shit till I was out there, and then like. And then also, I don't know, like, they didn't understand, like, a lot of the folks out there, I realized, like, it was this weird clusterfuck of just, like, I'm not trying, like, I am interested, or, like, I want, like, there was when I first got to Lucas, people thought, this is not a fucking joke, there was a group of guys in town who thought I was a spy, or not a spy, I forget his exact words, like, the one time, but there were a group of them, and there was a rumor going around me in town. Like, you don't, by the way, you know Kansas, so I would sometimes, you don't get the full rumor till like 3 months later. Yeah. And that's even if you have like a good source.
You've got to find someone that's willing to tell you.
Usually, and that's after several drinks, and that's like, you promise, and then you're like, oh my god. But no, there was this rumor that I was working as like they weren't saying Mother Jones, but they were like, whichever should have been like a decent resource actually, but they were saying that I was coming in to like be a journalist. They thought I was coming in as an artist, I was a journalist disguised as an artist.
So you're like an embedded journalist?
Because the first month that I was there, I was super curious about like how the fields and stuff. I was like, how the fuck is this? Like, what's going on here? And then like, and I should have. That's what I'm gonna say. In retrospect, I'm like, oh, next time just go in and be like, the City Slicker wants to do karaoke, like be super gay, and like, hey boys, like that worked. But when I was actually asking genuine questions, that shit started shaking people up, and like,
well, because they don't want to think of you in that way, as someone that could be serious or like be able to have, thoughts or curiosities or wondering about things.
I think it's just a clusterfuck. Like I don't know.
You're probably right. I tend to not give people from small towns enough credit. Sometimes that's one of my failings. Like I left a long time ago. I've almost been gone.
Yeah,
from Kansas longer than I was there.
You're a big city girl now.
Yeah.
So fuck them.
But I mean,
you got yours.
I mean, but I do tend to like sometimes in my head I'll be sort of like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They're not smart enough to figure it out. But that's sometimes also not true. It's
also really annoying when they're doing talking points, and like Fox News has made it worse. That's the other thing too. I actually prefer a lot of the older farmers when I was out there because they were skeptical about like Fox as well. Mm-hmm. So they were fun to talk to because they would be like,
they don't.
I heard you were gay, and I go, yeah, and they'd go, I heard you were asking questions about how my farm, like more, They were like, their farm.
Yeah.
This shit gets personal. They're like, I heard you were asking how my farm, like, how my irrigation's going. And I was like, yeah, I was. And they were like, why do you want to know about irrigation? And I was like, I just wanted to know how, like, the environment, like, how it's working out here. And
how it works, yeah.
And, like, honestly, the older they were, generally speaking, they were strangely more open. It was this weird, like, younger, they were solidified in this, like, you're out here to cause trouble. The older ones were like, I don't know. It reminded me of my grandpa, because my grandpa was in the Navy, and he was just like, I don't fucking care. And I was like, whatever. You want to dress up and dress, you want to go on the farm? Let's go do it. That's fine. Whatever. There was a lot of that, honestly.
No, I totally understand that. I totally get that.
No. But it still came out with me nice.
A lot of it, I think is also born out of, they don't have as much to do. There's not that much. Everybody talks about everybody back there because they don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, it's I don't. It's like I'm not gonna fight for them tonight, but yeah.
No, don't fight for them.
Well, Wilson Lake is amazing. Like I would have lived there. I
felt like a lot of you took a lot of. You went there a lot. I feel like I saw a lot of photos that you took there.
I was fucking.
You went there a lot.
I got in trouble for naked sunbathing. Apparently, it's illegal in Kansas. But you know what?
I mean, yeah.
This twink ass needed that sand, and I needed it right then. And you guys can all deal with it.
Did like a ranger actually come and talk to you?
No. The rangers were fine. It was the people in town. Because of Instagram. See, this is the other part, people... This is the part I had to deal... Or for me, personally, was that clusterfuck of... everyone's like, I'm not on Facebook, or I hate this and this and this. But then they were all spying on me, which is... spying's the strong word.
But they were curious.
And they were curious. And by the way, my life was mostly boring. But occasionally, there was a really nice sun. There was a goddamn empty beach. Yeah. That salt water is amazing.
Wilson Have you Lake's been? Gorgeous, yeah. Oh, yeah. My sister and her husband have a boat. They go there all the time.
I'm going to go visit them. How far are they from the lake?
They live in Wilson.
Oh, they live in Wilson?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they just live up the street from there.
I was considering moving. The problem with Wilson is...
I mean, Wilson's just...
When we talk about Wilson?
It's just as small as
No, Lucas. I prefer Lucas over Wilson. But.
Yeah, Wilson... I mean, Lucas has an art community. Lucas has artists. Like, Wilson doesn't have anything.
Wait, I want to rephrase that. Because they're basically the same city, so that's really complicated.
But I mean...
16 miles apart, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 20 miles apart.
I mean, it's nothing.
It's a drive.
It's nothing. It's literally on the other side
of
the lake.
Oh, really? Because
it's on the other side of the lake. Wilson is just over... Once you get on the other side of the lake...
I don't understand why it's not called Lucas Lake. That's
well, because it is closer to Lucas.
It's like 30 seconds from Lucas.
Yeah, it's much closer than from Wilson. I don't know either.
I don't know, but I love both towns.
I mean, love is a strong word. My sister loves it there.
I adore it. I actually do adore it when I go there. I mean, they've tried to come in 90 times, so when I say that...
coming back.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, Wilson's kind of cool. It's got, like, the movie Paper Moon was filmed there.
Of course.
At the hotel.
Paper Moon, yes.
And the woman that owns it, like, she knows all about it. She's, like, Wilson's kind of, like...
They have the better...
It's tiny.
They have the decent, right? They have the best for
yeah. The best what?
I mean, they have the best They have the best meal for people who aren't Kansan friendly.
Like, you mean
I would drive over there.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have like a... My friend that I lived there with, 80-year-old opera singer, amazing, Margaret, astounding. She would, at least like once every 2 weeks, she was like, we supported the Lucas places and we love them, and those are all my friends and I love you and you'll never listen
and like
to this video.
that meat shop in Lucas is amazing.
Yeah,
amazing,
sure.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I lived right next door to that.
Oh, you did?
I have stories about that meat store.
I mean, did you not get along with those meat people or what?
No, I did. He was fine.
Really
Actually, he was a really sweet guy. They're owned now. There's like a hipster. They have like a Oregon. They're not from Oregon. They're from like Lawrence, Kansas. But there's like some hipster kids that kind of helped because it got closed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They got closed like with a FDA or a state. Yeah.
Oh shit! But someone's opened it back up.
But I used to live above that, or next door and above it, and let me tell you a story about the meat store in Lucas. One night,
I know a lot about meat, so I can't wait to hear this story.
One night, I was. It was a very it wasn't swampy, but it is kind of swampy hot out there.
It's summer, yeah.
Got nuts. I went out on the roof of my building, which was right next. I was sandwiched between the second greatest restroom in the world.
I love that restroom.
And then I was in Eric's building, and then the butcher shop was next door. And I got really hot one night. I heard some weird noises. I went out on the porch. There was like a beautiful moon. And I probably was like sipping God knows what. And as I sat there, my cat couldn't even jump, had leg problems.
Oh, okay.
Troublemaker. Super sweet soul, but couldn't do anything. So I'm out on this roof and she's like sitting there just perched like, oh, can I join you on the roof? And then I look down behind the butcher shop, or the meat shop. Mm-hmm. He wasn't actually a butcher shop. He was a meat shop.
It was a meat shop, yeah.
But he did smoke the meat, so he had a smoke shop. And there were hundreds of feral cats. Like fucking Halle Berry, Catwoman, CGI, worst movie ever.
Yes.
Amazing moment. And I was like...
What
and I made a noise, and like... some of them turned up, so hundreds of these cats.
Yeah,
what was happening is the smoke shop, the meat juice was like leaking out, and like it would go through the gravel, and it was slightly off kilter.
Yeah.
So the cats would come, and they'd like, and apparently they do this every night. I just had never seen it before because one, I hadn't seen a full moon until that moment, and I wasn't.
And
really,
that happening during full moon must have been weird.
I fucking sprinted back into that. Like, honestly, I was like, no. I would love to be Michelle Pfeiffer, but I'm not going to endure this moment.
No. That's fucking scary.
Yeah. It's one of some. Probably not the best way to describe it, but yeah, you should.
I think it sounds kind of amazing.
Yeah. How much do you not spend much time in Lucas?
No. I mean, I've been there because... I've been there only driving through to my sister's house, because, like, it's Smith Center... That's the that's the highway you take to get to my sister's house. So I've driven by there several times. And when I was younger, we would, that was like the Garden of Eden. You go to the Garden of Eden. Like when I was younger, we went there for things like the Garden of Eden.
Wait, you're coming...
You go, from Smith Center, you go through Osborne.
And then
you turn at Luray.
Osborne's its own little miracle.
Yeah, I have relatives there too. So you turn at Luray and you go through Lucas and around the lake and then to Wilson.
Okay. All right. I didn't realize. Okay. You're in the angle. I didn't understand that. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up...
I'm petting his arm right now because I'm like, woo!
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I talk to people about Lucas and people are like, you don't know about Luray. You do not know about Osborne. You don't know about Luray.
I mean, I don't know much about Luray.
Yeah, because why would you? Their
schools are combined. That's all I know. Lucas Luray.
Yeah.
Because my sister was engaged to someone that was going to be the principal at Lucas Luray, but then she called it off.
Okay.
She married someone else? Time ago. She did.
She's happily married now.
She's happily married for several years, a long time.
Okay.
They've been married for 20-some years.
I want to visit you. I'm coming.
Come.
I'm surprised.
Sandy.
I didn't realize she was in Wilson.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought your family was like a bit more. I thought you were in Smith Center, and then I look at the map and go, "Oh God, that's a lot."
Yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, then she.
Let's go to Wilson. Let's do an on the road trip.
Okay. I mean, the freeway goes right through there, and through Hayes. I went to Hayes to college for 2 years before I moved to Wichita.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
that's
know
another
that whole area.
When were you? Do you want to name the years you were in Hayes?
Yeah,
No?
I'll name them. I don't mind.
When were you in Hayes?
I was in Hayes in 88, 89.
Shit. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I had to leave. I had to leave and switch schools because there was a scandal that happened there.
Because of you? Mm-hmm. What? Do you want to talk about it or no?
I mean, I can talk about it generally. It was a long time. I don't think it really matters.
I won't. Are you fucking? I'm fucking so canceled. I'm like, there's a scandal.
A lot of people don't know.
Is it a gay thing? No?
Yeah.
Professor thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yep, at Fort Hays State, 4 days straight.
Well, you're your late 40s.
I'm 49, yeah.
Okay, that's not, I was just,
it's
okay.
Great.
No, I was just doing I did the math there.
I look amazing.
You do look amazing. You look amazing, girl.
I look amazing. Spelled with 2 E's. Yeah, there was a whole scandal that took place when I was
But you came out in Wichita. Was that afterwards?
Well, I mean, I was out in Hayes because I was having this affair with my professor, and then we got caught, and he had to leave, and I had to leave, and it was a whole thing. I mean, it was kept pretty hush-hush, but it was, you know, everyone knew. Everyone knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. And there's a huge gay population in Hayes. There's huge. I knew 30 gays.
That's massive.
That's a lot for a town of like 20,000 people.
That's basically all the Lawrence. That's like the same amount of people on Grindr in Lawrence, Kansas right now. So it's like.
I mean, can we talk about Grindr and Scruff in the middle of Kansas? It is sad. It's sad.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
No, I mean, I think it's so sad. It's not worth talking about. It's sad.
Okay, when I was in Lucas, I had sex. Wait, I'm gonna say while I was in the town proper.
Yeah.
3 times.
In how many years?
Oh, over the 2.5 years.
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
I mean, I left. I went to Hawaii and I had sex. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have died. No, but otherwise, it was like the best fucking options, which is horrifying, were like openly queer truck drivers on I-70, and I'm talking about the ones. There were tons of them.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the one. I got the Bay Area thing where I was like, I will do this, but I'm not gonna die, and I also need there was just a general sense of like certain things that I would acknowledge, and I was like, all right, I'm willing to. One of them I met actually, and I fucked in front of the liquor store in front of in Wilson, Kansas.
I was gonna say the liquor store in Wilson.
That was easy. That was the easiest place to meet them. I thought it would be more romantic if you met me at the lake, but those girls did not want to. Also, you don't want to drive that fucking truck down.
They don't want to drive that big truck down.
Yeah,
they're like, nah.
But no, it's rough. It was fucking rough. It was rough.
Oh,
and then, you get to Salina, and you think it's better. It's not.
Is there a gay bar in Salina,
though? Is there? There's not really. I don't think there's a gay bar.
I thought there was. I don't know. That was years ago, maybe.
I had sex with, some historian in, a museum, on the historical table. That was one of the best.
Actually pretty cool. Love that. It's a good story.
He had a wife, but whatever. I feel bad about that every time, but sometimes it just, what can I do?
Not your fault.
And also, did he really have a wife? I don't know.
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Thanks, Toban. This is exactly,
Yeah.
That shit gets rough.
People make their own decisions.
There's some rough shit going on.
Oh, yeah. It's fucking scary. Some guy, I think I had, what's that fucking test? The INFJ or those tests.
I don't do those tests.
I can't think what it's called, but I took that and I took it a while back, several years ago, and I
was on your profile?
It was on my profile because I thought it was kind of funny.
Well,
and some guy that was 60 miles away, of course, that was the closest person.
We're a perfect match.
No, he was like, that's not Myers-Briggs.
Why are we doing that? Yeah,
he's like, that's not real. That's not even a thing. That doesn't work, and it's been proven. And it's like
I love him already. I would fuck him just for saying that. I would fuck him just for saying that.
He wrote this tirade telling me how stupid I was and how dumb it is to that. And I was like, oh, you are precious. But the final thing was like, and now I'm blocking you. And it's like, okay. So it's like I couldn't respond to him, even though I probably wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, they do. They get
But I screenshotted it all and sent it to all my friends here in LA. I was like, oh, you guys, look at this. This is what's happening here.
You need to dig that up because I will look at it.
I think I have it.
I probably fucked with it.
You probably know him.
I got in trouble with a bunch of other people. This is a different story.
Oh, do tell.
Well, there's a limited amount of fags out there.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Very limited.
And by the way, I wish the lesbians would be more open, but I understand. I get it.
There's like 2 lesbians in Smith Center. My mother's like, there are 2 lesbians that live here. Like it's some kind of like
Western
traffic
Kansas.
draw. Like,
oh yeah, come see the lesbians.
She's like, they're here. They should make you really happy. Like, oh great.
Yeah.
But then she's also like quick to say like, well, they're both trash.
They probably are. But yeah, it's rough out there. It's so rough. Yeah. I knew so many lesbians who weren't lesbians, and it was like
girl.
It was painful, actually. It was really hurtful. I mean, not hurtful for me. Hurtful, like, oh my god, just as like, oh shit.
Like you could be happy, but you're
like,
not.
I don't know how many people I met. They're like, they're just sisters, and I was like. And they like to shovel hay together. Yeah, they are sisters. You're right. Right. Yeah, it's rough, Kansas. Oh wait, should we get more modern and talk about?
Yeah, we
can also order food too. Do you want some food? No, you don't want.
You want to order food? I don't care.
I'm in LA.
I'm gonna have some more wine.
You have wine.
Are you good with? Do you need more ice?
I need an appetizer or something. And I'm not afraid to say that on the air.
She needs an appetizer.
Ice would be awesome.
All right.
But no. What do you order in Highland Park?
Well, Uber Eats will give you anything that's really close.
Is Uber Eats the same as Uber?
No, it's a separate app.
God.
You've been gone from the United States too long. Well, Uber Eats rules everyone's life now.
Oh God. Well, I don't. So I guess I have to download it.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a Oh, we can't talk about that.
Do you want to be on my Wi-Fi? Do you need to be on Wi-Fi?
Yes. Do it quietly though. Hold on.
You're on an iPhone, right?
Yes.
Hang on. So the name of my Wi-Fi.
Don't say it. There's a recording happening.
It should ask me to share it when you choose it.
This is so not Kansan. I don't even. Oh, okay.
So if you click,
but there's a guest too.
Just click on the regular one, and it should ask me to share it with you.
You can share it.
Yep.
Oh my god, this world's getting nuts. This is like some South Korean shit.
You're on it.
I am on it. Okay. Now I'm gonna download an app.
Download an app called Uber Eats. This podcast sponsored by Uber Eats.
Oh my god, Uber Eats.
Are you hungry?
I've been doing Grubhub this whole week.
Grubhub's not bad too, I guess. I don't know. I think Uber Eats is more like the indie.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Alright.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I was just talking about Kathy Dennis and my friend Matt just posted about her. Can you believe?
It happens.
It's kismet.
It's existence, c'est la resistance. Okay.
You know to Grubhub too if you're more comfortable.
No, because I don't actually have the app. I was doing it from my fucking laptop. I'm way
behind. I don't even use my laptop anymore.
Well, I lived in Greece, and when you're in Greece, like honestly, none of this shit mattered. And so like I did a whole year. I was like, yeah, well, this is all. You can't use this shit. You could not do any of this. Not even close. No, you go to your like local restaurant. You do. This town. Okay, so Fortnite, Toon Blast, Showtime. I don't know what that means. I'm already worried. Sounds like different shit. I'm going to type it in like a fucking password. This is going to turn into a whole thing. It's going to turn into a whole...
What kind of thing? Do you want me to... Wait, what's happening?
It's going to turn into a whole thing.
Can I help?
No, I'm working on it. Okay. Also, if there's something we need to talk about while we...
Get...
Do you want some food?
Oh, wait, where's my... I can't get wine. I don't think I need food. No.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do you recommend anything nearby?
McDonald's is great.
Oh my god.
No, if town
literally, McDonald's fries are only good if you eat them 15 seconds after they're like out of the fryer.
They get here in 25
exactly.
minutes. Town Pizza is good. What else would be open?
Do you have some Bay Area shit down here? You don't.
Oh.
Someone mentioned Little Star Pizza, and I got really upset the other night because I was like, oh my.
There is I think they did put a Little Star here.
Did they?
Somewhere. You know what's here is, did you ever go to Holmes Bakery in San Francisco? There's one of those in this neighborhood.
Did.
It's so delicious.
Wait, delivery details. Oh wait, it's asking me for. Oh, we're gonna do. Okay, I got you. Don't worry. We don't have to say that on the line.
Don't share things.
You don't want to be stalked.
I mean, I don't mind.
I'm pretty sure Miranda July lives nearby. I'm pretty sure.
I would gladly be stalked by Miranda July. I've been stalked by some weirdos.
You have?
And even I don't mind that much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind being stalked as long as it doesn't get super physical. But
I mean, you know.
Actually, when it's threatening someone I know, I don't care about me. Honestly, I'm like, as soon as it's like someone else, I'm like, you know what? This isn't cute.
I mean, if you're not being stalked, are you even popular?
Well, I don't. Is that how you gauge it? Oh my God, you're like in an IHOP, McDonald's. Is this like super? We're right next to the highway? No. I'm like feeling
that
like
was such a Kansas thing to say. We're right next to the highway. I mean, we're
like
not.
We're in Hayes?
Actually, Peter, we're right next to the freeway.
Freeway, sorry. Are they different?
I do love that you said no. They're the same, but in Kansas, obviously, everyone says highway. Right next to the highway.
Hey, the highways look right there.
Dude.
I don't even know what I want. I just want a snack, man. I didn't really eat well today, other than like some tabbouleh and some baba ganoush and some hummus, some toasted wheat bread, and a little bit of tequila. Other than that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just not McDonald's. That is, why do they keep doing it? Do you order? You've done it.
I love McDonald's.
I'm not. You don't have to. It's fine.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that out loud.
It's fine.
I'll only whisper it.
I'm the bougie queen who needs pad thai every city she goes to, apparently.
Oh, well, you know, there's good pad thai here too. Look for Eagle Rock. Eagle Rocks.
Oh, there you go. They offered it. Is it $15 and $20? Perfect. Love you, America.
There's good pad thai.
Leave a note for the kitchen. Hold on. Pad thai, rice noodles, eggs. I like tofu. Hold on.
Yeah, they'll put chicken if you don't say you want tofu.
I want tofu. So how do I do it? Special instructions?
Yeah.
Seriously? In California?
Tofu, not chicken.
Will it be fried tofu? You can't.
They don't fry it. No, it's not deep fried. It's like.
I'm not into that. Hold on. I'd rather have chicken than that. I'm gonna go with shrimp. All right. $3. Christ.
The shrimp is worth it. Shrimp is delicious.
It's also killing the world, but whatever.
That's something my ex-husband said all the time.
Oh.
And it just made me want to eat more.
You don't want anything? So should I get like veggie rolls or something? Are you sure you don't want like a little snack, something? Crab rangoons.
Oh my God, crab rangoons are so good.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
All right.
Fuck it.
Hold on.
Hey,
What's up?
we're recording, so now you're on a podcast.
Hi. How's it going?
James, this is Peter. Peter, this is James.
Howdy.
We don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but yes, we're making a podcast.
We're recording the
recording a
podcast
podcast.
right now.
Okay.
I mean, you can talk.
You can be in
You
it.
need to know. You can be in it. You can hang out. You just need to know what's happening. It's the important part.
Keep her on.
Do you need something from the Thai restaurant?
Peter's
Are you
ordering
hungry?
food.
No, I just ate.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. You did just eat. You've
Do you
been
want some
gone a long
whiskey?
time, though.
Or you not a drinker? No. There's whiskey. If you want a nibble, you can have one.
There's wine in the fridge.
I like this guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
In the meantime, hold on, because this is very complicated. These apps. I
We're
don't
ordering-
understand them.
we're
I'm
ordering
from Kansas.
food.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'll push on. Yeah, get your food.
Of course, there's. What's the proper tipping here? I don't know. It's
15.
$15. $2.
It's an interesting question for everyone.
I mean,
Just want to make sure that the right people are getting it. That's the thing.
yeah, totally.
I don't want to pay Mark Zuckerberg for my fucking. I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to give him whatever. Follow this order. You can track this order. I don't really
Okay.
sure.
You
Is he here?
no.
I just want to grab mine. Okay,
Yeah, go ahead. You.
Did I what? Did I do something wrong?
No.
I thought you could read my phone. And
No.
tell me what I was doing.
I'm looking at your phone right now. I've got my camera on your phone.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I prepared my order. It should be here by 10:30. Perfect. All right. Then we'll
Perfect.
maybe we can like do that whole delivery guy scene that happens in all the porns in LA that I've never seen. You know.
Yes, for sure. All right. What were we talking about?
Smith Center, Kansas.
Ugh.
Lucas. What do you want to talk about? Or not?
I want the microphone to pick up me.
Chipping your teeth? No, you're grinding your nails.
I'm clacking my nail. I'm clacking my nail on my tooth.
Well, you have to. If you, it's easy to do that. You just get
should
near
be able
it.
to do it from here.
No.
Well, fine. All right, ready?
Looks like you got it.
I like it. I like that.
So it sounded like you were flossing your teeth or something.
But really, it's just my ultra hard nails, clacking my ultra hard teeth.
From having all those protein shakes.
Yes, protein shakes are.
Do you have to clip your nails more when you do that shit?
You know what? I'll tell you the truth about my nails. You're gonna die when I tell you this. You're gonna die.
I don't die for anything but go.
You're gonna DYE your hair when I tell you this. But in the last 2 years, my fingernails and toenails have started growing really quickly, and they are very, very sharp.
This is happening to me in my 40s.
Is it?
Yes, it is actually.
Yeah, I've scratched my face with my nails. I've scratched my legs. If you itch and you scratch too hard, you'll have a cut.
Yeah.
They're very sharp, so I keep them cut really short.
Do you think that this might be some sort of like when you're aging, like to keep away predators, your nails are sharper?
I assumed I was turning into Wolverine from the X-Men, but you might be right. I like your idea better.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing. It's not actually contradictory. It's the same
It
concept.
is kind of the same, yeah. You're like, because
But they are growing fast. Like I notice it. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
You cut them and
I
they're
feel
growing.
like when I was a teenager, I like cut my nails like once every 2 weeks, and now it's like
they grow, and
3
and
days.
yours are sharp as well.
Oh yeah, they're
Like
like
painfully sharp.
sharp enough to like cut a cocaine line and like joke. I don't do cocaine, everyone. You know that.
It was sorry, Mom.
Sorry. I have a heart condition. I can't do cocaine.
I mean, I'm sure.
You should not see me on cocaine. I've done it twice. It was the worst. You know.
I'll bet it's interesting.
No, it's
'Cause
not. It's the horrible.
I mean, cocaine's so chatty. It's so like just talk.
So ego driven. It's like
Well, yeah.
I grew up watching people on cocaine and going, "You fucking fuck faces."
Yeah.
Like honestly, I really like was like, this conversation is horrible. Then I did it, and I had to listen to myself. And as someone who's done so much LSD, I think I was like hyper aware as it was happening.
You're like, I'm talking about nonsense. You do. I've had.
I was a dick. I was just a dick.
Because when you're on cocaine, you want to talk about yourself. But then if you and I are having a conversation and we're both on cocaine, I just want to talk about myself.
And it's the whole time you're like,
Yeah, until it's your turn to talk. Then you're like,
you know, it's fucking.
yeah, it's. I did a lot. Of
And I mean, as faggots too. That's like times 10 for the regular
Gays
population.
love talking about themselves. In San Francisco, I mean, I did that a lot. We would, get together on a Friday night, 10 of us, and just sit around and do cocaine and just talk until like 5 in the morning.
Those must have been the. What years was that? Was it Lower Hay?
No, this is I lived in Mission Bay in a warehouse.
Oh.
Down by the Ball Diamond. Near the Whole Foods.
I don't know
Right
what
before I moved here.
They built a Whole Foods there?
There's a Whole Foods in Mission Bay, yeah.
Well, I haven't.
At Harrison and 3rd.
I've been trying to explain to people recently that about Buy Right. Because I saw one the other night. Yeah, I love Buy Right. Do you have them here? Do you guys have the same thing? No. So I was staying near someone's house and they had a Buy Right, and I go, oh my god, you're about to get evicted. And they were like, what? That's just like a warehouse. And I was like, oh my god. When Buy Right moved into my neighborhood, that's when I knew I had to fucking go. The food is good.
Yeah.
But that's like that. The Buy Right jokes haven't started yet, but that's Whole Foods times 10.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
People don't know.
They don't get it.
I don't want to like knock it, but because the food's good. But
It's
as
good,
soon
but
as they moved into the neighborhood, I was like, when Nopa, and Leonardo DiCaprio is like popping in, and then there's like and then there's a grocery store that the scoop to ice cream costs $14.
There's a Scoops here now. In this neighborhood.
Scoops? Yeah. Is that by right? No.
No. It's but they like. Oh, I thought you were saying there's a Scoops in San Francisco.
No, I'm talking about scoops of Buy Right ice cream costs like $14, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting evicted. Like I knew it. I was like, oh, it's like 14 months.
Evict the clock.
How do you feel about? Are you watching Watchmen? Wait, how big are you in comic books? I've heard.
I was a comic reader when I was a kid. I don't read them anymore, but I am definitely into any sort of like superhero thing. And if you're going to talk about Watchmen, it is excellent.
The show.
And the comic.
Oh,
I read the comic. It's excellent as well.
Oh, no, I'm an Alan Moore fan. Like, I'm not hardcore. But I know a lot of... Well, I get in trouble for loving Alan Moore a lot, but...
Well, because he can be kind of a dick about stuff.
Apparently he's a rapist or something. Or they say that his work is all about rape, not about being a rapist, but...
I mean...
It happens.
Still expect her to get raped in Watchmen.
Oh, no, there's rape in a lot of the things. There's consensual sex in Promethea, which is my favorite, but it's also, like, creepy. I mean, some people think it's, like, inappropriate consensual sex. Whatever, there's stories. For me, it doesn't... Alan Moore is a fucking goddamn... Alan Moore is a goddamn good person.
Yeah.
Did some shit.
He's a good person. I mean, people do things that probably they shouldn't do, and people do things that later people are like, you shouldn't have done that. And that's, as humans that exist for longer than 50 years on this planet, that's bound to happen.
Didn't we all do those?
I mean, we totally have done things that we probably, later, someone will be like, you shouldn't have done that. But I think, in general, Watchmen,
Who comes out pure? I don't understand
nobody.
this idea.
No one stays pure. And that's something that younger people don't yet realize, is that you've already made a bunch of mistakes that you're going to be sorry for later, but they seem fine now. And they
I can't wait till they start getting Me Too'd for shit they did when they were 4.
And especially because all of it's going to be online. Everything they've done is online.
In the sandbox, do you know how inappropriate you were? It was fucking ridiculous.
Anyway, Watchmen, the comic is amazing. Watchmen, the television show, is incredible.
All right, I'm not sold on it yet.
Really? Tell me your thoughts.
There's no thought. I'm just not sold on it. I'm actually thinking I should wait till it's finished and then kind of like slam through it. I don't know. It's not. I want it to be something more than it is. I'm not hurt by it.
Have you watched the first episode?
I've watched all of them.
Okay. Because I think it's super deep. It's not...
I understand. I love the person who created I love... now I'm getting a little too... I like I feel the idea of where they're going, but honestly, it's not as watchable as I would... Like, it's not that interesting in the sense of... it seems a lot... It's, like, pretty cliche to me, and, like, I'm hoping there's going to be a big payoff. I really do. Because it's beautifully produced. And it's very well thought out. Like, it's almost meticulously too well thought out, I think. That's the problem.
Well,
I can feel the cuts and the edits.
Damon Lindelof is like that.
I know, and I love Leftovers.
And I love The Lost. You didn't love Lost?
Well, you mean the ending?
I mean, let's not talk about the ending, but the show itself,
well,
as a whole...
How can you talk about the show without talking about the ending, please?
Well, the Leftovers, wasn't amazing.
Have you been reading the rumors about how this last Star Wars movie is going to end? Because it's amazing.
No.
Okay, you got to get online and you got to like...
Tell me. Can we tell these people?
No. Well, no, it doesn't... I can't spoil anything. I basically listen to this shit just like as fodder in the room while I'm like primping my hair. But, no, there's this, like, they've been screening it apparently. Like, no one knows for sure, but there are rumors that they've been screening this and people are like... People are very upset. And the thing is...
that?
But yeah, I mean, it could be campy. It could be amazing. It could be like the best camp disaster ever. But these first, since Disney took over, it is horrible. It's been pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, the Disneyfication of things is tough. Can be problematic.
It's not even just Disney. It's just like whatever. But the main point that they're getting to, with concern to like why it's going off the rails, is that because they want to make it feel like a full succinct saga. It's a Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
And there was like 9 writers. There's like 17 shoots. They were like redoing all the stuff, and like they were supposed to be done in July. Like they didn't want to finish the like CGI shit until they had
everything it can.
Just at least general plot points, and like apparently they're still working on it like right now. Like it's
wow. Well, because doesn't it come out at Christmas?
Yeah, it comes out in 2 weeks.
Holy shit!
I mean, I'm sure it's like. Apparently, whatever the last final cut they did, they brought in another audience they'd already shown to in previous. They did like,
look at
you know how this shit works. Like
yeah. I've been in
so there's like 4 or 5. Yeah, exactly. They brought in several people. And they did this over and over again, and like people are going, "What the flying fuck?" So part of me is like, "Yeah, I know." The gay in me is like, "Yes,
Yay.
Showgirls." Bring it. Because also the last one was the worst. Like
I hated that one. I talked to someone online yesterday. It was like, it's my favorite one. Like,
I don't know what you were watching. It was pretty painful. I love Laura Dern. Like beyond.
I love Laura Dern, but that character was weird.
And then like the vague fucking Leia, like whatever. Can we talk about Enlightened?
Yeah, we can talk about Enlightened. I love that show. Laura Dern is an incredible actress. She's so good, and who knew? I mean, her mother and father are good actors, but you know, it's never guaranteed that like their child will be a good actor. And she's really great. She's extremely interesting to watch. She's very good at acting, and
she's in she is in basically a huge chunk of everything that matters.
Yeah, she's like I forget all the time that she was in Jurassic Park.
That's the least important.
But I mean, like that was a huge thing at the time, and then you know they tried to like grow beyond it, but like Laura Dern was in it. But yeah, Big Little Lies, she was amazing in it.
I'm not a Big Little Lies fan, but
wow.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. The first season was amazing.
It doesn't really matter, but
it doesn't. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I mean, to me it was least. It was like, well, that shit.
But Laura Dern's great in it. She's fantastic. She's chewing every piece of scenery she can get her hands on.
She's amazing in it. Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. She was the only reason it was enjoyable for me, actually.
I mean, like that scene in the car.
I mean, I like what's her face, the Reese a little bit.
Reese Witherspoon, I do. She also is doing a great job on that show.
And then the Jennifer Lawrence girl.
I'm not that big of a fan of hers either.
She's. But anyways,
she's okay. I mean, she's fine.
Haley Johnson. I don't know
what's her name.
See, that's when you let it go.
I don't know.
Tipsiness. This is why I ordered food.
Oh, you seem fine though.
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
You seem totally fine.
You should have seen me in a meeting the other night. It was terrible.
Woohoo!
Laura Dern, Enlightened. Best.
Enlightened, and why
I think it's one of the greatest shows ever.
I think it is too. And why didn't it stick around? I mean, it was not meant to be finite.
No,
so
it was not meant to.
People not glom onto it.
Because Americans don't like watching Americans. I've realized that's the genius of that show.
Well, she is, but so okay. Here's something. Can we compare Enlightened with Girls? Because I think that
sure.
Because I mean,
normally you do the Sex and the City comparison, but I'm down for this. Go for
it. Sex and the City. They were all likable. Everyone on Girls is unlikable, and I think that's what Laura Dern's character was supposed to be on Enlightened, is unlikable. She's shrill. She's difficult. She's fucking crazy. People were annoyed by her, and I was annoyed watching her. But that was the point, and that's also why I liked Girls.
Definitely the point. Yeah.
They were awful, but you were laughing at them.
And also because we are more, like, that's the thing about Laura Dern's characters. The Americans are more, people are more like that than they want to believe. Like, that was the genius of that fucking show. Mike White, so good. And yeah, it is heartbreaking that no one really cared so much. It was beautiful. I really do believe that was one of the best shows of the last 25 years.
I agree too. And I know where it was filmed in Pasadena too.
I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I still sign petitions to get, like, Enlighten the movie, I mean, I don't want to, like, ruin it. Also, like, I love Buffy to death.
Yes.
It needs to die.
I love Buffy.
There's a reboot.
Yes.
I'm happy for it, actually.
I mean, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't have to. I'm not going to yuck their yum.
No, I think he's gonna do a Genius. Joss.
Oh,
is
do you think
involved.
is Joss Whedon involved?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna
really?
do a. It's gonna be like a string theory thing. It's gonna be, and some of the actors were probably gonna be involved, but they're gonna be
Okay.
playing different parts and like.
What?
It's a different. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm down for that.
Black Buffy. It's Black Buffy. It'll be fine.
That's official. The actress is African.
As far as I know, yeah.
Wow, I like that. Well, there was a one of the Slayers in the original series
Season 1.
was African American.
Season 1. Mm-hmm. She dies.
Buffy's Untouchable. It's a great show.
I'm so glad we agree about this.
Yeah.
It bothers me. Sometimes when I talk to people and I'm like, when they're like, oh, I love whatever, random shows, I'm like,
I love Charmed. You're like, fuck you, dude. Get out of my house. Right? Charmed was hideous.
still haven't watched, I've watched barely a second of it. It's fucking horrible.
Dreadful.
But you know what? God bless you, Alyssa Milano, for all your bullshit. You're amazing. When she showed up in that Brett Kavanaugh meeting, I was like...
I am a Alyssa Milano fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, oh shit. I fucked up.
How so?
No, Charmed. Latecomer.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
Rose McGowan.
Yes.
Yeah. Rose McGowan has got a lot going on. And I'm not mad at her about any of it, but she's got
She's
a
my
lot.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, no.
I'm a fan.
I can see that.
I'm a giant fan. She's the new Courtney, as far as I'm concerned. But she's Courtney with a purpose.
Yeah. She's like maybe not on drugs.
Should we talk about Courtney Love? No.
I love Courtney Love. I mean, I think she's had some, as a Madonna fan, I have had my differences with Courtney Love in the past, because
You took sides over that.
Well, I mean, like, she would really come for Madonna for kind of no reason. Like, what's your fucking problem?
We're talking about the very specific moment, though, right?
Well, the moment where she threw, like, the shit up. Well, I mean, what's that for? What is it? That's just...
Can you describe it to the...
I mean, Madonna was being interviewed in a really gorgeous blue silk top with sort of like a 60s inspired hair. Anyway, she's being interviewed by Kurt Loder.
I'm sorry, I love doing
MTV.
fact. This is actually a show I should be doing, like super facting. He's like, okay, explain.
Specifics.
She was in a silky blonde with her
It was
favorite.
Kurt Loder was interviewing her. They were up. It was at the MTV Music Awards. They had like an elevated area where people were being interviewed.
1994.
It
Or
was
95.
It was in the 90s.
95. It was 95.
Wow.
It was after Kurt's death. It was post Kurt's death.
Yes, because Courtney super lost it.
That's not why she lost it, but go on.
Drugs, but anyway.
No, it was the transferring of the blondes. I've had this theory for a long time.
Okay.
America's always transferring the blondes. This is the most overt moment that ever happened.
Really?
And and Courtney didn't keep the crown very long, but when she did that, she took the crown from Madonna. That's the night. That was the moment.
Wait, do you hear that? Greg, Keith, and Ryan. Did you just hear that?
Courtney,
Right.
she had it for
We'll talk about that
she had
later.
it for like 3 months, but she took it.
So yeah.
Beyonce's had it for like 10 years and won't let it go.
Well, Beyonce's very talented. I don't like her music, but she's very talented.
It's not the question. I'm talking about the blonde. When America always has a blonde. And Taylor Swift thought she was the blonde. She's had it for seconds, but.
Taylor Swift.
I actually like the, there's covers by like some rando rapist dude who does her work.
Taylor Swift is obviously very talented, but
Is she?
I am not interested in her music or her persona whatsoever.
I think our food's here.
Oh, cool.
Hello? Are you outside?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on one second.
Well, now that Peter's gone outside to eat his food, we're alone. Podcast. It's just the two of us. What are we going to talk about? Should we take a phone call? Oh, wait, it doesn't work that way.
This town's insane.
Because of Uber Eats.
I can't even talk about what just
What happened? You have to talk
Nothing.
about it.
He just gave this to me. That's all that happened. But
Oh, that's the
he
way
said, "Have a blessed night," and he whatever. It wasn't too much for
I
me.
love that you're just discovering grease and how it works.
I'm hoping. Did I get
Plate?
Oh.
Plate.
Oh no, he gave us both. Okay. See, now I started turning cans. I'm like,
No, we didn't get all of our food. What's happening here? I don't get it.
Oh wait, I can watch this.
Bless you, my friend.
Sorry. I've been sneezing so much lately.
I mean, there's a lot of smog in California. It's
There's
real.
just a lot. The changing of the seasons. I know no one thinks that happens in California, but it really does.
Oh, I believe it. I believe that.
We're like, that's
That's pollution. I'm dying. What are you doing?
alright. Maybe a little bit. That might be a good truth.
So there's pad thai. There's crab rangoon. Do you want? Wait, hold on. How should
Oh wait, do you need silverware? Do I need to get silverware?
Possibly, but so
I didn't do very well because I have
it's not the problem. I also need to urinate.
Okay.
I often forget I'm a human being.
You're so in the hallway. Down. Right in the middle. Oh, that way. Peter left the room again, podcast. Peter left the room. What are we going to talk about now? I'm opening the crab rangoon. Did I what?
Plate? Did you?
Yeah, you got a plate right there.
No, I thought you had a plate for yourself. No.
No, I just got one for you. For your
Oh.
pad thai. Your
Well,
pad
I'm
thai.
fine. No, I don't need a plate for that. I'll eat out there, but do you want a crab
You're gonna eat it? Oh, I haven't had one yet. Just kidding.
You already had. Oh,
I
you
did, and I talked to the computer about it
amazing.
while you were in the
I'm
bathroom.
really happy about that. He's taking too long. I'm gonna have one of those. Fuck him. I would have had like 3 or 4, honestly.
They are so good.
Did he want a shot of whiskey or something? No.
James, do you want some food or some whiskey?
Do you want to be completely uninvolved in this? I understand completely.
Yeah, do you want me to bring it to you?
This is like a. Sure. That's you. That's not me. I don't do that shit.
Alright. Do you want ice in it? Do you want ice in your whiskey?
Mmm.
Just a shot. Okay.
Mmm.
He just wants a shot.
I would argue they should.
I mean, maybe they're not as good as Greece crab rangoons, Greek crab rangoons, but
Yeah, that could be meteor. I would take a meteor. Well, who am I to complain?
what was the food like in Greece?
Um,
Amazing, incredible.
yeah.
obviously amazing. But like, what did you eat there on a daily basis? What was it like? Like you didn't have tacos.
Oh, did you want some sauce? No. Tacos.
Like here, tacos are a staple. Everyone eats tacos all the time.
Yeah, no, well, those gyros are like, of course there's like, I mean, oh my god, now I realize I'm like sort of, yeah, there was like, you know, you would have lamb gyro or like, this one.
So gyros, basically.
I mean, that's the cheap,
Yeah.
You don't want this, no. I mean, a lot of salads, a lot of lamb, and a lot of, oh my god, I'm like staring through the crack of your roommate's door. Lots of lamb, lots of leg, praying to goddesses, and,
Why do they eat so much lamb?
I mean, that's the pastoral, they don't, I mean, there's pig, there's like beef, there's all kinds of shit going on, but, all kinds of shit going on. I'm so American.
There's all kinds of shit going on. Like if you,
I mean, you're talking about regional space, and like, I will do, I know you won't.
okay.
Yeah.
So you have what you need? No, I put silverware up there
Oh.
and a napkin. You get that?
I was looking for the cheap silver on here. Thank you so
Use
much.
the good stuff.
I appreciate it.
We have metal silverware here.
Oh my god, it's like a TV tray.
Amazing. Yeah.
I think this is the first time I've eaten a meal on it, but I'm gonna do it. It's gonna do it. It's gonna happen. In the meantime, I can ask you a question so you can talk and I won't interrupt.
Okay.
How do you feel about moving from Kansas? I'm just. So you were in Wichita. This is kind of nuts to me. So Wichita and Hayes.
Yeah.
And then you went to San Francisco?
Seattle.
Then San Francisco?
Uh-huh. I went to undergraduate school in Wichita. I finished my undergraduate degree there.
Okay.
And I started the grad program. They offered me my own class right away. It was great. I was like, oh, how exciting.
Okay.
In painting. But I sort of was like, am I really going to just stay in Wichita? Because I'd always wanted to leave
It's
Kansas.
always a question when you're in Wichita.
Well, yeah, but also, like, when I was a kid, I mean, we came to California when I was 14 to visit relatives, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is where I want to be.
Okay.
So when I was finished with my degree...
Which part of California did you go to?
Here in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, they lived here. Anaheim, actually, but like, Anaheim and Corona. But we spent all our time up here. But I was like, okay, I have a degree under my belt. Am I going to stay here? You know, is that what I want for my life, or do I want to go somewhere else? And I happened to have friends who were moving to Seattle for the summer. Mm-hmm. They had a friend out there, and that had a place for them to stay. And they moved out there, and they were like, hey, why don't you come along? So a friend of mine and I drove out there to Seattle. We were supposed to stay for the summer. And then, of course, I was supposed to go back and, like, teach this class and finish graduate school and blah, blah, blah. And instead, I decided to stay.
Okay.
And so I was in Seattle for 2 years. I made art, and, like, I got a boyfriend immediately as soon as I got there, which was very exciting at the time.
Does that happen to you all the time? You get boyfriends everywhere you go?
No, God, no. Men find me repulsive.
What? That's not true. But, okay, so...
So, yeah, I had a boyfriend, and I was like, you know what? I'm not moving back there. I'm going to stay here. Even though, like, I mean, it was in the summer, and Seattle in the summer is gorgeous, like we just talked about before. Summer in Seattle is beautiful, like everywhere else.
Like Vancouver is like the fucking Mediterranean, but then,
yeah. But then spring, fall, and winter come along, and you're like, oh, this is evil. So after the summer was over, I stayed there. I had a great time. I you know, I was working, I was making art, I had some shows. Like, it was pretty cool life. I had a cool boyfriend. He was really nice. He would walk me to the bus every day. It was cute. It was a cute little life.
He walked you to the bus.
He did.
You still think about that?
I do. It was like so sweet. I would get on the bus and people would be like, "Oh, that was so cute. You guys like kiss and say goodbye." And like he walks to the bus. Like people would comment on it.
Gays are normal.
I know it was very Seattle. So
what year was that?
that was like 90.
I'm obsessed with years.
97.
Oh, OK Computer. Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was all cool. And then it kind of like, after a year or so, it kind of started to break down. Like, also, I was not really loving Seattle. I was like, the only good thing here is this nice boyfriend. I don't, you know, there were lots of shows to see. Every cool band came there. Like, I got to see Stereolab for the first time there. I got to see Saint Etienne for the first time there. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was great, but I didn't love Seattle. And then he and I broke up, and suddenly
Did he love Seattle?
He was from there, so he loved it. He grew up there. He was on the coolest radio station when he was a teenager. Yeah. Like, as a guest DJ. It was like, you had a perfect little life here. But the thing was...
Let's not make assumptions. He had his struggles too, but go on.
Of course he did.
I'm sorry, I'm a contrarian. I have to defend.
No, it's fine. It's fine. And so once we broke up, like it kind of went south after about a year or so, and then we broke up, which was fine. But I noticed that all the friends I had were basically his friends. Okay. So he kind of took the friends. So then I didn't really have any friends. I was like, oh, I don't know anybody here except for people that he knew, and then I found it very hard to make friends, other than people I worked with, and they were all messes. Like we would drink coffee all day, then we'd go drink every night. Okay. It was not great. So I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I was in a grad program. I was like, you know, what am I doing? Yeah. I gave that up to come here, where it's raining all the time and kind of unpleasant. So I decided I needed to get back in a grad program. I wasn't going to go back to Kansas. No. No way. So it just seemed obvious to go to San Francisco. Okay. So I applied to SFAI. Oh, you did go to SFAI? I went to SFAI, yeah. I
did not know this, Toban.
Oh, you did it?
I thought you went to CCA.
No, that's how I know Linda Ford so well, because we started school together there, and she was so cool. Linda Ford, if you're listening to this, I mean, you know you're cool, so I don't have to say that. Oh. But that first day, I was like, oh, I need to be friends with her. She's like... I like Linda a lot, yeah. She's amazing. She's like, she's so nice, but she's also so serious and kind of a bitch.
She's just upfront. I like that part.
Yeah, that was my. I was like, I want to be her. I love her. So anyway, so I I applied to the grad program at SFA. I got in, moved down there.
Now, what years is this? I'm sorry.
This was like 98. I started there in 98.
Oh my God.
I know, I whipped right through Seattle. I was in Seattle for 2 years exactly. To the day. Okay. June 9th to June 9th. Isn't that wacky?
Really?
Yeah.
What was that accident?
2 years to the day. No, it just happened. It just worked out that way.
You think about it. You think about those dates, and you think about the importance of those dates.
I mean, I think it is important. I think it's something that I've always remembered.
Yeah, I mean, when shit sticks out, you gotta pay attention.
Yeah. So yeah, I moved to San Francisco to grad school.
And you were there for...
I was in San Francisco for 10 years.
Okay.
Almost to the day. I left like the month before it would have been to the day.
Oh, 10 years. Oh, and you thought about that.
I did.
And you were like, should I stay another...
I was like, should we just stay here another month? So it'll be
no.
And my husband's like, I mean,
That's like $4,000 more. We can't do that.
Right. Back then it wasn't like that, but yeah, now it would be. For sure. But yeah, I mean, by that time I was married, so, you know, we had decided to move down here, and yeah, my husband's mother had passed away,
and he's from here.
He is from there.
Oh,
he's from San Francisco. So, you know, we were like, oh, let's take a chance, let's go. We can always come back. I mean, that was the thing. It's like, let's just move down there. If we hate it, we can come back.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I would argue that he should go back, but that's a totally different podcast.
Yeah, so now you're here, and you're enjoying it.
I've been here now for 10 years.
10 years?
In May it was 10 years, yeah.
Wow.
I know. it's kind of weird because my time in San Francisco was amazing. I had so many friends. I loved it there. I really felt like that was my home, and I never thought I would feel connected to another place. But now it's been 10 years here, and I have an amazing group of friends. I have a large group of friends, which I think is hard to do at this age, and, a good support system. It's been really good.
Do you think about going other places, or?
I mean, I used to. Like, when we got divorced a few years ago, I thought about moving to the woods, or, like, moving to Sebastopol, or, like, something like that.
Because you're a poet now, but go on.
Yeah. I'm going to go live in the woods in a tent. I mean, I did consider it, but ultimately, I don't think... I even considered moving back to Kansas. Does that sound shocking?
No.
I mean,
who are you talking to?
My parents would love that. Yeah, I guess, yeah. You did.
I'm the only person... Everyone else thought I would told you, I'm going to move to Kansas. You'd be like, what? Yeah, no. I'm all for that shit.
Yeah.
But meet me in Southern Colorado. It'll be fine.
Southern Colorado will be amazing. Where exactly in Southern Colorado?
And like 90 minutes north of Taos, Fort Garland.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah. So you'll be close to Taos, which
I'm in the mountains. I'm not in the valley. I'm in the mountains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm almost at 8,000 feet for sure.
Who do you know there?
No one.
How did you land there?
I landed there because my art burned there. My parents were living there, and they were gonna my parents were slowly not. The elevation was affecting them with their age.
Oh, really?
So I was slowly moving my stuff there, and we were transitioning. They were only there for half the year, and so I was taking over the space. But as soon as I spent I spent a bit of time there, but they this is getting loud. Long story short, as soon as I got everything there, it all burned.
Oh,
so it didn't matter.
That's right. I remember seeing that their house burned.
Yeah, so I'm rebuilding this summer, hopefully. But my art, their house, my parents that was a house of love, man. They built this place. I don't want to go into all the details again, but it's they retired there, but my dad still he's a professor. He teaches online, and he was teaching my mom. I just wanted to be remote and have her thing, and for people who grew up in Kansas and adopted this son, all shit, a faggot son, by the way, a fucking angry faggot son. Probably one of the worst on the planet, probably. They deserved some peace and quiet, and they got it, and then it all fucking burned down. So
what caused the fire?
Well, if you listen to Fox News, it was an illegal immigrant, but they wouldn't show you his face, so you would assume it was they were propagating that it was a Mexican national.
What?
But it wasn't. It was a Dutch dude. And he was he was illegal, and he was Dutch, but he was too lazy to take his trash into the town, so he was burning it, and then and then he would pass. I'm not sure if he was drunk or whatever, but he passed out while his trash was burning.
God.
Yeah, and it destroyed. It was the second or third largest wildfire in Colorado's history.
Oh my lord!
It destroyed. It was massive. The thing is, it missed my parents' place. It missed it significantly, but then the wind blew it back. So
shit. And where were they when this was happening?
No, they were there. I had just left to go to I was moving to Colorado. Mm-hmm. And so I went to California to get all my healthcare shit in order. And as I left, it was this completely horrifying coincidence. I left, and while I was gone, you're looking at the time frame. Oh please, no one's gonna be this far. They don't care. You can skip through it.
I love it.
It's not called Time Waster Radio for nothing.
No, of course not.
This is about research.
Well, the computer's gonna go dead. I'm gonna plug it in.
Oh, that's important. I'm glad you're watching that. Meanwhile, this pad thai is pretty delicious. I'm gonna go with And we can stop too. Also, I know we're like horror nights. That was really good pad thai. I'm gonna stand by that.
Yeah, that's good. They did a good job.
I stand by it.
Thai Eagle Rocks. They don't call it Thai Eagle Rocks for nothing.
Slightly problematic, but whatever. However these kids do it. Yeah.
So we were talking about the fire. Do you not want to talk about that anymore?
No, it's fine, but it's just like whatever. It happened and it's over. Hopefully, I'm rebuilding. So
you're gonna actually go. You're gonna rebuild it yourself.
I mean, that's up in that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
First of all, do you see these soft hands?
Yeah.
Also, I need to be painting.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna build. I think there's gonna be like a prefabricated barn, and then I'm gonna like. I want it to be a special space. I want it to be real. I don't want it to be, but I'm gonna like try to do the best where I can. I want something super minimal, and that's been the funny part. Explaining to my parents was like, because the art burned. Some of the art was insured, but most of it wasn't, and so we're like trying to have this whole debate. They want to have a place to come visit, and I want to have a place to paint, and this is like super. Like I'm beyond lucky.
Yeah.
Because my parents are way more, is like hardcore blue collar, as they are. They're like just on top of that shit. I was never. And to have it all burn, my mom's art as well. My mom was a quilter and a ceramicist, and we lost all that. It's super fucking painful. And like,
awful.
For me, it's like my shit's like, I miss a lot of the notebooks more than like the actual work, but I did have some pieces that were like due for museums and yada yada, and that like now I have to remake, which I've never had to do before in my life, because some of it got like press materials. Like, have you ever had to remake something like meticulously?
I haven't had to remake things. I've had to fix things.
Yeah,
it's extremely hard.
I don't do that. Like, that's not how I operate. So
well,
it's like,
yeah, because the way you made it was very specific to the time you made it in. So then to try to replicate that is, like, do you have to replicate those conditions? Like, how do you replicate it?
Yeah, well, they were promoting an image, and so they were literally asking for, like, can you remake this? And I was like, whoa. Like, it was the first time in my career I was like, what? You what? Because they paid for it, and it burned. Like, it was already packaged. It burned, like, it was ready to, it was getting picked up, and it burned in the farm. Yeah. So, it's fascinating. Whatever. It's just art. It's, like, fucking stupid. Doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it's important because it's part of your legacy, and it's part of, it's something that someone has invested in.
My legacy? I don't get it.
I mean, you need to face up the fact that you have a legacy, just like the rest of us.
It's just weird to have that kind of overhead where they're like, I've never had that before, honestly. So can't you just like reprint the digital image? And they're like, can't we like reprint the digital image and then like you can like oil paint on top? Like they gave me several options, and I was like, yeah, it's totally doable.
That would be good.
But I was like, I'll do it. It just seems weird.
I mean, I think that's the best case scenario.
Yeah. That's what it's about the same size as that piece right there.
So
it's like 6 foot by 6 foot? No.
5 by 5.
That's 5 by 5?
Is it 5 or 6? I think it might be 6 by 6. No, it's 6. It's 5 by 5.
5 by 5.
Because it's a square.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh. It's in that same range.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you could print it on a canvas, then paint over it. That's your best option.
Yeah, I feel weird. But anyways, enough about me and my fire. So what's happening with you? What's your next show? Or not your next show? Or what are you doing with your life? How upset are you with your own existence?
I mean, the things that happen to us are because of the things we do. Like, I don't believe that I don't believe that something is like, I'm not to call fault, but I think like the things that happen to you in your life are because of the things that you do, good or bad.
You are so Kansan. Oh my God, go
But
on.
do you not agree?
I fight against this, but go on.
Well,
I mean, I think
okay.
it has moments.
All right, so I mean,
This shit does fucking happen, man.
it happens, but it's also a okay.
You think I started a wildfire? That
No, I don't think that. No,
I know that. I just wanted to give that as an example.
No, but that's a
It
perfect
helps.
example.
It helps you comfortably go, shit fucking happens, man.
It does. Shit does.
Tornadoes fucking happen.
They do. I guess what I'm referring to is that, I have been, for the past 2 years I've been making this film. I've been making my first documentary feature film.
What's it about?
And it is about my family.
Oh. Sorry. It's about the family in general.
It's about my family. Well, it's very specific. It's about a Christmas competition that my mother and my sister have every year. They've had it for the last 17 years. Mm-hmm. It's a funny story on that part because they, what they have done is it's devolved into this really silly competition and, all very humorous and interesting and unusual, especially for the middle of nowhere in Kansas, But
I would argue an amazing place in the middle of somewhere, Kansas. Go on.
Sorry, Mom. But the crux of the story is that it's about my nephew who died of cancer at age 18 after fighting it for 11 years. So he was fighting chordoma's cancer when he was a child, and, it changed our family profoundly, obviously, clearly. And, had ramifications that we still feel to this day. Mm-hmm. Losing a child, losing a first grandchild, losing, it's hard to talk about him without tearing up. But when I wanted to make this story about the Christmas competition, which has been going on for 17 years...
Was that the name of the film?
The name of the film is Beyond the Trees. Because the Christmas competition is about them putting up the most Christmas trees. So it's a competition to see who can put up the most Christmas trees in their house.
In the house.
In their house.
Not in the yard.
Well,
now they're bridging out.
The cheating.
The rules
get
changed.
Yeah, there's some cheating that happens. But
I smelled it already.
The idea is that it's in the house, and so I'm not going to give away how many they put up, but it's in the double digits. So that's what the story is.
Bridging on 100.
So that's what the story was mainly about. But the crux of it is that it happened because of my nephew dying. He was diagnosed with cancer and died both around Christmas.
Okay.
So it was a hard time for our family. So what they did was my mother came up with this idea to have this little Christmas tree competition and make things a little bit light again. And of course now it's morphed into
a distraction
competition where they want to cheat and steal and lie every year. So we're making a film about that.
So it's 17 years, you said?
They've been at it for 17 years. He died 17 years ago.
So when you go back, are you doing filming? They're doing a lot.
I did filming. We did it. It's in the can. It's in final edit.
Oh, it's all in the can.
It's all in the can.
But there's another year happening.
Ooh, I can't. The film we have is in the can. It was being edited at Warner Brothers. It's now being edited in Culver City. We're in the home stretch, but it has been the hardest thing that I've ever attempted. It has been, the most difficult thing, and I think that's what I'm getting to when I say the things that we go through are of our own making, because I decided to do this. Yeah. I chose to do this, and a bit naively was like, I'm just gonna do, which is the way everything happens with me. Every project I attempt is from a total standpoint of naivete. Yeah, it's like, I want to make a film. I'm gonna make a feature film. I can do it. It'll be great. And here we are.
You should have Game of Thrones in Kansas. You don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't know. Amazing.
Prairie Fire Dragons,
Prairie Fire Dragons. So here we are 2 years later, and it's like, it is consumed.
2 years? That's not super long. Wait.
It's not super long.
So how much filming that you did over the 2 years?
We did the filming over a year, and then it's been in post-production for another year.
Huh, that's not...
It's not really that bad, but it has...
bad.
No, I mean, especially...
But it's a lot.
In terms of the way films are made, and people here in LA can attest to the way films are made, especially documentaries, is they can stretch on for 5 years, 10 years. Like, it can totally go on longer than this. But this, in my personal experience, this has been incredibly difficult.
And you're working your family too. That's another.
Yeah, it's with your family.
Yeah,
you're exposing your family. You're really diving into. Exactly, and then just to get it physically done. Like, I would love to do other projects. Before this project, the longest time I had worked on a film was 6 months. Yeah, and that seemed like forever. It seemed like forever, and that was back. When I make my experimental films, I do everything. I make the music. I do the directing. I do the camera work. Sometimes I'm in them. Like, I do all the writing, like all the music, everything. And so, doing that amount of work was fine because I was in control of it. Yeah. With this particular project, because it's a traditional style documentary that is a feature-length film, I've had to employ people, collaborate with people, work in a way that I wasn't used to working or did not know how to work. I had to learn about all these things, and it has been an incredible uphill grind to get done. And so at this point now, we're 2 years in, and I want it over with. I want it done. I want to move on to something else.
Yeah, that's totally justifiable.
Here we are. So that's what I do.
So it's not over yet.
It's not over. We're still.
And also, Christmas is coming. This bitch ain't gonna be done for like 2 more years. But it's gonna be. That sounds like it's.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really great. Yeah. We got some great stuff. The story is good. It's interesting. It's a super weird, kooky way of thinking about things that people have not seen before. I think it's great.
Did you get some vintage footage too, or just?
We've got some vintage photos and things, and things like that, and it's just gonna be a lot.
Did you concentrate with them doing voiceovers and getting them?
We did extensive interviews, and then I'll just shooting them every day while they were just setting everything up, just shooting.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna be great.
No, that's tedious. I don't go through all of them.
No, I mean, who does? I mean, people. I think in our line of work, that's not the sort of work that we're used to doing. Like, we're doing.
I do documentary, but I don't like doing. I did it in Lucas though, and it's grinding to
grind.
Interview. Also, you interview people, and then you start to realize as you have those conversations that they if you respect the subject, which AKA your family, you do, and that makes it even more hilarious because as you're doing it, you're like, oh, plot points are happening, and you're like, shit, so and so needs to be represented, there needs to be a counterpoint to this.
You've got to get if someone says something in an interview, you've got to be like, oh well, I need to go talk to this other person again, and get their perspective or hear the real story.
You don't want it to be just a blanket statement.
A lot. I mean, that's the thing. I wrote it all out. I wrote the outline here, on my phone at a concert. I had the idea to turn it into film, and I was like, okay,
cat power.
I'm gonna ignore what's happening right now, and I'm just gonna type it all out. And then the next day, turned that into the treatment, and just sort of started really outlining it all, and what's it gonna be? And because I know these people. Yeah. And I know the underlying drama. There's a whole lot of underlying drama in any family.
And you can't interject yourself, professionally and on a certain level.
I mean, I sat down. I was really staying out of it and sort of just being the person behind the camera.
It's a real drama, though.
Oh, yeah. For real. But that's why I couldn't sort of, with the point that it reached is that it was so insular that there was sort of no entry point for people. And that was a lot of that was because I wasn't inserting myself in it. And so I had to actually sit down earlier this year and have an interview with myself. Yeah. So I had someone that interviewed me, and we actually filled in a lot of the sort of details that people wouldn't be aware of because they don't know these people. Yeah. And that was really interesting because it hadn't occurred to me until we got to this point. It's we're at this point where the film is, basically put together, but it kind of doesn't make sense because you don't know all the context. So somebody's got to provide that context, and incidentally, I had made sure that I was sort of taken out of it. I asked all the questions in the interviews, but I made sure that those questions were removed so that there was just people talking.
Oh, you hadn't watched enough Errol Morris to realize that you had to have your voice inside. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
it's complicated when you're doing that stuff. You don't want to.
I mean, you don't want to. unnaturally affect what's going on. I mean, I don't live there.
Well, first of all, it's not a journalistic piece at this point. I mean, if you're a family, so
Yeah.
but you have to make that capitulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. But at the time, I just also, like we discussed before, like I hate listening to my voice. So
Oh my god, it's the worst.
it's the worst.
It's the
I
worst.
hate hearing my
I
voice.
have no idea why I decided to do a podcast. But this is my rule. I do these and then I don't listen to them.
You're like, it's up there. I don't have to listen to it.
I feel like I'm gonna die, and then this will be good to be like, oh yeah, he was that big of a dick. I think about Kurt Cobain actually, because
Yeah.
he is an asshole. Like I love him to death, but you watch the interviews, you're like,
Yeah.
and I love him, and I love his work, and I love Courtney, but I'm not unrealistic. Like I'm just like, oh.
But
yeah,
I don't think you come off like an asshole at all. Like you come off really nice.
oh, that's super sweet. I was not fishing for that.
I mean,
it's
but I
not-
think it's true though. I mean, I agree with you. Kurt Cobain seemed like a drugged out asshole most of the time, but I don't think that you come across that way at all.
Yeah, well, who knows? Like 1994 footage, I'm gonna be like, they're gonna fucking put me in a. I almost said Me Too prison, which doesn't make any
prison.
sense. It's we've gone a bit. Are you exhausted? How are you feeling?
I'm pretty tired. What have
I'm
we
pushing
gone,
you. What time are you going to work
almost
tomorrow?
3 hours. I have to
I
go
like
to
it.
work at 6 a.m. I have to be at work at 6
Oh,
a.m.
you should. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Let's let this go.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. You should have just said that.
I'm fine. I usually go to. I usually. It's,
My jacket.
Oh.
My jacket like weighs that. It sounds like a dog falling.
it did sound like somebody broke a window. It's crawling through.
Tobin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Peter. This has been amazing. Actually, I had a great time.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed
I
it.
did too. We should do it again sometime.
I would love that. Well, when you move here,
Dude, let's do acid and go for like 13 hours.
that sounds great. I love acid. I used to do acid a lot in the 90s in Wichita. Oh, God. Sorry,
Oh,
Mom.
yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
By the way, do you know about that? Before we let go, do you know there's a Vice article you should read, or it's online. A lot of the acid was actually coming from Kansas.
Was it?
Yes, from this. There was a scientist in Topeka. It's a legitimate. This is legitimate. I'm not just getting all crazy here. Errol Morris's son, whose name I can never remember. He's a super sweetie.
Errol Morris, the
filmmaker who went to SFAI, who did Thin Blue Line,
Yeah. Okay.
Fog of War.
His son? His son's famous?
No, well, he's not famous. I mean, whatever. He's a nice guy, but he works for Vice News sometimes,
Okay.
and he's their hallucinogenic correspondent. But he goes to Kansas. There's an amazing 17-minute documentary online about the height of acid coming from Kansas in the I think it's like the mid to late 90s.
What?
Yes, this dude got a missile silo. And there's strippers.
I have to watch
There's sex
that.
slaves. It's insane.
I mean, that's what we were doing. It's
All
like
that
early
acid was
90s.
coming from there. That's where he had this whole theory that it should come from the middle and spread out. So he was making it there. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, we had great times on that.
Well, I'm trying to it occurred to me when I finally got to the West Coast and I was having a hard time getting a hold of acid. I was like, why was I getting acid in Kansas so easily?
It's not popular out here at all.
This documentary will make it. Now you'll understand.
We're
part of the project.
I love that.
We're part of the
I mean, acid. You just you've done it. You just laugh,
Oh,
and laugh, and laugh, and laugh, and laugh, and laugh.
Not completely, but yeah.
I mean, if
it's
you
a
have
therapy
bad
drug.
one, but
I don't even.
I mean, but I've only had one bad trip in all the times I did it, and I
Me
slapped
too.
my friend in the face, which he totally deserved, by the way. Sorry, Darren.
That bitch. Fuck you, Darren. Fuck you.
He deserved it. But every other time, I would just laugh until my face hurt, and then I would go home.
That's true.
And sit on the
Depends on
toilet,
the mood
and
that
then
you're in, though.
wallpaper would melt.
It's a therapy thing. It sounds like you took it and you needed to laugh. You needed to laugh.
Well, I mean, what were your experiences on it?
No, generally speaking, I agree with you. Like, I mean, again, we were apparently getting some of the best shit in the world.
I love that.
And we didn't know it.
It makes me miss those times so much.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Like, it was I mean, I credit that drug for saving my life. I don't think it's a party drug. I definitely took it as a party drug, and but also it made me learn about not liking parties. So that's another thing. That's why I always laugh.
Yeah.
When people are like, let's do us, and like, whatever. And it's like, It took me about 3 or 4 years to be like, this is not the best drug for that. Actually, like, if you want to just, like, go lose yourself, because it's the opposite of what I found. I don't know, that's just, like, as a fag or gay guy, I deal with this idea at those parties, and, like, people I couldn't be with, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's nodding his head. Yeah, these are those
nodding
things
my head.
It's important. Like, you do have those things where it's like other people take that for advantage. Like, on the sense, like, doesn't matter at advantage. They take the idea. It's not a straight thing, but it's like it's even a younger thing right now. Like, oh, you just go and you have fun. There used to be a time where like you were super isolated in a party, and we're talking about gay white men or just white men, and you really like. You're just trying to bond with people.
Yeah, you're trying to find somebody to talk to, and it's like an awkward experience. It's like, you know, you're especially at those sort of younger ages, you're awkward. You're like, you know, you're uncomfortable, you're insecure, you're weird. It's like, and taking drugs can help open things up. It helps you, like, you immediately can find someone else that took it, and you can be like, oh my God, we're best friends, and you know, anything like that. It really is helpful.
It can change your fucking life. It can stop suicide. It can do a lot of. Also, just like one nice guy going, hey, I'm not gay, but you're really cute. Whatever.
Yeah.
Something. Just weird, random shit. Like, I'm not into it, but you're pretty. Or, hey, like, we all need some sort of affection or, like, adoration or just acknowledgement, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Some sort of camaraderie that, like, makes you connected to other people. That's important, to connect to other people.
90s in the Kansas. It was like, fucking beautiful. Love that.
It was good times.
Anyways, Toban, thank you so much.
Thank you. This has really been fun.
Can we just sing the song on the way out?
Oh God, yeah.
Do you remember it?
Wait, is it Time Savers? No, it's not Time Savers. It's
Time Savers.
Time Savers. Time Savers. Listen to my podcast. No, that wasn't it at all.
Please, I love that.
It was what's it? It's something with a T.
Time Waster
Waster.
Radio.
See, I put a positive spin on it. Time Waster Radio.
Radio for those who refuse to listen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really do
We're
appreciate
shaking
it.
hands.
We're shaking hands.
We're gays that shake hands. It's weird.
Is it weird?
No, it's not weird.
It's like an eagle claw.
Every gay I know hugs.
Well, yeah, in California.
Except those gays
in California,
that want to be touched. Yes.
Have you been to Kansas? We don't do that. All right. Thanks, Toban.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.